A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here is your theater of romance from Hollywood. Colgate Tooth Powder for a breath that's sweet and Halo Shampoo to glorify your hair bring you Humphrey Bogart, the dynamic star of Warner Brothers, and Joan Bennett.
Colgate Tooth Powder for a breath that's sweet and Halo Shampoo to glorify your hair. Present the Colgate Halo Theater of Romance from Hollywood.
Warner Brothers, producers of the soon-to-be-released San Antonio, brought to the screen some years ago one of the most beautiful and dramatic love stories of all time. It created an impression never to be forgotten. And the Colgate Halo Theater of Romance is particularly proud to present tonight the Gene Holloway adaptation of this great story, One-Way Passage. Here is your play, and here are your stars, Humphrey Bogart and Joan Bennett.
Met for the first time, Joan and I, at a bar in Hong Kong. There was no one to introduce us, but there are times when people need no introductions. I was standing there alone, except for the bartender, and more than a little bit lonely. I asked the bartender to let me mix my own drink. He looked at me like I was crazy.
You know, you're the first customer I've ever had that wanted to mix his own drinks.
I'm very particular about how my drinks are made.
Well, what do you call that?
The paradise. When anyone comes along who knows that every second of life is important, you make him one of these.
I know every second is important.
Okay, lady. Then have a few drops of paradise.
Thanks.
My name's Dan.
Mine's Joan.
Hello, Joan.
Hello, Dan.
Shall we drink to our brief meeting?
Yes. Hail and farewell.
Come on, John. We'll miss the boat.
Oh, those are my friends. Would you like to meet them?
Luck has allowed us only a few drops of a cocktail.
And the others might spoil it. You're right. We'll trust luck to come round again.
Wait a minute, Joan. There's a bit of a ceremony to the finish of our cocktails. Oh, bartender, are a couple of dollars enough?
What for?
These glasses.
Oh, sure.
They're ours now, Joan. And so that no one else can share our paradise, we'll break them. There.
Goodbye, Dan.
Goodbye, Joan. Before we met for the second time, each of us brushed shoulders with Death. Death walked up to me with a gun in his pocket and said his name was Steve Burke.
It's been a long chase, Dan. Now, don't try anything. My gun's in my pocket and my finger's on the trigger.
Okay, kid. Where do we go now?
The boat, and then San Quentin.
I've got to get my clothes. I always like to look my best on my way to an execution.
Your clothes are on board.
Oh, very considerate of you.
Here, you don't mind sharing a bracelet with me, do you?
Must we be so chummy?
Yeah. This time you're not getting away. Come on, Dan, let's get moving. We got a boat to catch.
Tell me, how did you manage to trail me out of Sagan?
The porter. You gave him 400 francs to keep his mouth shut. I gave him 500 to talk.
Oh, isn't that enough to shatter one's faith in human nature? You know, you ought to be very grateful to me on the whole, Steve. How many cops get a chance to take a trip around the world? Marseilles, Algiers, Cairo, and now Hong Kong, Honolulu, and San Francisco.
You're right. You know, you're a pretty nice guy, Hardesty. It's too bad you had to commit murder.
I'm not sorry. The guy was a rat. He had it coming to him.
Well, fortunately, or unfortunately for you, the courts administer justice in our country. So I guess this is the last lap for you, Nan.
Yeah, I know. And I would have to make it in handcuffs.
Well, maybe we'll take them off when we get out a ways. I'll take my chances on you as long as it's a long swim from land.
I didn't know that Joan would be on that same boat, or that at that very instant she was having her own terrifying moment.
Turn down the bed right away. Miss Ames is going to bed and rest.
Yes, Doctor. No, I'm not going to bed. We'll be casting off in a few minutes. I want to be up on deck for that.
You don't obey a doctor's orders?
Oh, I used to, but not anymore. Why should I?
Have you had the seriousness of your case explained to you? Don't you know that absolute rest and care are indicated?
Yes, but I don't want to pass the little time I have left just lying down waiting to die. So I keep waltzing around the world and no one knows except my maid. You see, Doctor, there's nothing more devastating than kind, pitying people when you're in a fix like this. I don't want pity or sympathy. When it happens, I want all the lights going and an orchestra playing. And I want to be on my way someplace. Don't you see how important every minute is to me?
Yes, I do see. But if you should need me, let me know.
Yes, I will, Doctor, and thank you.
We met, Joan and I, for the second time in the ship's bar as the sun was going down. Two people who knew that every second was important because they could almost count theirs to the end.
Hello, Dan.
Hello, Joan.
The luck's come back.
So I see. In full measure. Oh, I'd like you to meet an old friend of mine, Mr. Burke.
Hello, Mr. Burke.
Glad to meet you.
Steve and I are, well, we're sort of traveling together.
How nice.
Yeah, we're together all the time.
May I borrow him once in a while?
You sure may, as long as you're careful not to lose him.
No, I won't lose him. Come out on deck, Dan.
Go ahead, Dan. It's a nice sunset.
Thanks. See you later.
The day knows how to go out, doesn't it, Dan? What does the setting sun make you think of?
Oh, the Angelus.
It's a silly game, but will you play it with me?
Anything. What is it?
It's a game where I can find out all about you.
Oh, what do we do?
I say words or phrases, and you say whatever comes to your mind.
Go ahead.
Water.
Laughter.
And laughter?
You.
Light?
Death.
Good. Green grass?
Bare feet.
White clouds?
Freedom.
Excitement?
Your eyes.
Cabbages?
Kings.
Will-o'-the-wisp? Quickly.
Sadness. A long search.
Love?
The end of the search. You know all about me now?
Yes. Oh, listen, do you know that song they're playing? Where was I? The moon was high, the night that you first listened to, alive. Where was I? I always felt... What's the matter? Am I boring you?
No, not at all. I was just wishing...
Wishing what?
that you had been the girl next door, and that I had met you a long time ago. After our second meeting, we met every day, holding on to each moment as though it were the last, always reluctant to see the day end. Those were brilliant, exciting, slightly desperate hours.
Have you said anything to the girl, Dan?
No.
Well, I don't blame you.
I'm meeting her now up on deck.
We'll be in Honolulu tomorrow. You better not make any plans. You won't be getting off the ship.
Yeah, I know.
Wonderful moon, isn't it?
Wonderful.
Where are we? I haven't known since Hong Kong.
We're on a ship in the Pacific. One very small ship on one very big ocean. Tomorrow we'll be in Honolulu. 5 days from tomorrow, you'll be at the Golden Gate.
I'll be. Where will you be?
I don't know. You want to ask me any questions?
No. I think you'll be going through the Golden Gate with me. Look at those stars. They're like us. Tiny specks lost for all time in their own unending ocean.
Will you teach me all the important things you know? How did you find them out?
If I told you, that would spoil it. There aren't going to be any questions between us except the ones your eyes ask and my eyes answer.
Nothing said?
Nothing except what my heart says and your heart understands.
Darling. Oh, my darling.
Dan, that kiss was like the beginning of the world.
For the end.
Not the end. Tomorrow we'll be in Honolulu all day. And I'm going to take you way up in the mountains where you can look down and see the ocean on all sides. And you'll hear music, but you won't know where it comes from. No one does. It's a legend. Well, what's wrong? What are you thinking about?
You.
Dan.
I told you not to try to talk to me on deck, Rocky.
No one's around. And Steve's in the bar talking to Countess.
All right, talk fast.
Everything's set. The Countess is going to take care of Steve. She's going to slip him some knockout drops in his drink. Now, if you can get off the boat when we dock in the morning, Ram will be waiting. He's got a freighter on the other side of the island to take you off.
Okay, thanks, Rocky. I'll get off.
And ditch that dame, will you? If you don't get off tomorrow, it's your last chance. And if you lose it, it's curtains.
I won't lose it. Don't worry.
The car you ordered is waiting on the dock, Miss Jones. It's a beautiful morning. You should have a glorious day.
All right, Louise, thank you. Find Mr. Hardesty for me and tell him I'm waiting.
Mr. Hardesty, my name's Walter Lamb.
You got the boat ready?
Yeah, the captain's name is Hogue. His ship's the Mary Ann. She's waiting with a steam up.
All right, let's get out of here.
All right, there you are, you truant. Where have you been, Dan?
Oh, hello there.
I've been hunting everywhere for you. Disappeared into thin air.
Well, yes, You see, I had some business. I'll have to see you later, Joan.
Oh, Dan, I had everything planned. I have a picnic lunch. Did you forget? We were going up in the mountains.
Well, no, but I got tied up and...
Please come, Dan, just for a little while.
We're all ready to shove off, Hardesty.
Yeah, well, let's see. Suppose I'll make it a little later. Where are you, over on Front Street?
Well, yes, but you'd better come now while the coming's good.
I'll be there in an hour.
If you're wanted on this island, it doesn't take long to find you.
I won't be more than an hour. Come on, Joan. Let's have a look at your mountain.
Say, whatever happened to Helen's romance?
Oh, it's fizzled out, like all Helen's love affairs.
That's too bad. And I'll bet she doesn't suspect why.
Oh, of course not. She doesn't dream she has a little breath of trouble.
That's why we recommend Colgate Tooth Powder. You see, anyone can be the victim of a little breath of trouble. I mean unpleasing breath. It happens to thousands without their knowing, marks them down socially, brings them unhappiness, and they seldom suspect the real reason. Don't let that breath of trouble catch up with you. Do this. Brush your teeth night and morning and before every date with Colgate Tooth Powder. For Colgate Tooth Powder cleans your breath as it cleans your teeth. Yes, scientific tests prove that Colgate Tooth Powder, in 7 cases out of 10, instantly stops unpleasing breath that originates in the mouth. And when it comes to cleansing, money can't buy a dentifrice that will clean your teeth better or quicker than Colgate Tooth Powder. Remember the name, Colgate Tooth Powder, with the accent on powder.
And now, Colgate Tooth Powder and Halo Shampoo bring you the second act of One Way Passage, starring Humphrey Bogart and Joan Bennett.
And so Joan and I borrowed an hour and left the world behind. She sat, leaning back against a tree, more beautiful than any woman would ever be again, because she was the last woman for me, and I knew it.
Dan, you know, when I was a little girl, I used to think that heaven was a place with golden streets where everyone went fluttering around like mad on wings. I didn't have any idea then that heaven would turn out to be a little spot in the mountains above Honolulu. I wish we could stay here forever.
Do you think you could be happy living the rest of your life with me?
I don't think I could ever be happy any other way now.
Look, there's something I've got to tell you.
Is it serious?
Very.
Oh, then don't tell me today.
We're not real, you know. This mountain isn't real. Nothing about us is real.
I don't think anything else is real.
We meet 2 strangers in a cocktail bar in China. We part, then we meet again. We fall in love. And yet we still know so little about each other. It doesn't make sense. It can't be real.
I don't want to know any more than I know now. Do you?
But what kind of people are we? What have we done? What do we intend to do?
Well, about the past, I think I was born the first time you looked at me. And about the future, Well, if I ever lose you, I think I'll die. And in between the past and the future, we have this. And you can't say this isn't real.
You're sure that nothing else matters?
Very sure. You don't question the gifts the gods bring.
Maybe you don't.
Listen, there must be a fire down there.
No. More likely they're hunting for someone. Got to get out of here. Come on, Joan.
All right, Dan. Why are you stopping the car here? This isn't our
Joan,
ship.
you're going aboard without me. I'm not going. Please don't ask me why.
Well, if you're not sailing, neither am I.
Joan, there's no time to lose. I've left everything to say till the last moment, and now it's too late and there isn't time. I tried to tell you, but you wouldn't listen. Please believe me. We'll meet somewhere, somehow. I'll write to you from wherever I find myself.
Where are you going?
Somewhere. I don't know. I'm sailing on a freighter just off here as soon as I can make it.
I'm coming with you.
Darling, you can't. Now be a good girl and listen to me.
I'll go anywhere with you, anywhere.
Please get out of here, Joan. You've got to.
I know. I've known a goodbye in everything you've said and looked. I wish I could have meant more to you. Are you afraid, Dan? Did the ship doctor say something to you?
No. No one said anything.
Oh, don't lie to me. He must have. You know, and now you don't want me. Oh, Dan, please take me. Please take me.
Joan. Joan, what's wrong? Joan.
Honesty, they're hunting all over the island for you. Where are you going?
I gotta get this girl back on the ship. She's fainted. Well, Doc?
We got her back to the ship just in time.
Dan,
Yes, dear.
don't leave me. Say you won't leave me.
He's not going to leave you. I'd like to speak to you a moment, Hardesty.
Yeah, of course. I'll be back in a moment, darling.
I don't want you to upset her in any way. That girl is suffering from a chronic heart ailment. It's only a matter of months, perhaps even weeks. If she has the slightest cause for emotion, we could lose her now.
Come on, Dan, will you? You can still make it.
No, not now, he can't. You're coming with me, Dan.
Steve, you've got to trust me. You've got to let me stay with Joan.
You've got a heck of a nerve asking me to trust you now.
You've just got to. If she knew the truth about me, it would kill her. I tried to tell her and couldn't. Now she mustn't know.
That's right, Mr. Burke.
This man is my prisoner, Doc.
It's only 5 days to San Francisco. That's the most she and I can ever have. My breaking days are over, Steve. Whatever my word is worth to you, will you take it?
Okay, Dan. I'll take it.
Thanks, Copper. And so the ship went on toward San Francisco. And at last, she and I, who knew the importance of every second, met for the last time. And somehow I think we both knew it was the last time, though neither of us said so. No moon tonight. Look how black the sky is.
No, we don't need the moon now. That's strictly a prop for people who are just getting acquainted. It doesn't seem possible that we could ever have been strangers.
Never. You know, Joan, men pretend not to need things. I've tried to pretend, tried to be the lone hunter, but down inside I've been like everybody else. One half of something looking for the other half.
Me?
You.
Dan, there's no one like you. I could talk to you forever.
Will you talk to me forever?
If there's a God, I will.
Hello, Dan. It's getting chilly. How about turning in? San Francisco in the morning, you know.
Okay, Steve, whatever you say. Come on, Joan. Let's slip down to the bar for one final drink. A goodbye one. Here you are?
A few drops of paradise.
Yep.
What does San Francisco mean to you, Dan?
A lot of things. The end of a lot of things.
I love San Francisco.
I always have too until now.
Why now?
The end of our journey?
But we'll be together.
Yes, we will. After a little while.
It's not more business like Honolulu.
Oh, a little. As a matter of fact, I'm leaving immediately for Mexico City.
Oh, well, do you think...
No. I'm making the plans for us. After all, I am the man of the family.
All right, darling. What are the plans?
You and I are meeting in Mexico City at the Palace Bar on New Year's Eve.
Oh, it's so long to wait.
I'm not going to try to explain it now, but... well, that's the way it's got to be. Okay?
Okay. The Palace Bar, Mexico City, New Year's Eve. And until then, Dan, you'll be with me in my heart.
Hello, Miss Ames, Mr. Hardesty.
Hello, Captain. Have a drink?
Thanks.
I think there's one more in the shaker.
Yep. You know, these last drinks at the end of a long journey are always a little gay and always a little sad. Oh, I've had many journeys' endings, and I always propose this one little toast. Here's to all aboard. Wherever they may journey on, may long life and health continue with them. And in fair weather and calm seas, may we one day meet again. Shall we drink to that?
Yes. Well, you don't mind if we break our glasses, do you, Captain? It's a little ceremony of ours.
Why, not at all.
Thanks, Captain. And here's to one meeting. One special meeting. In Mexico City on New Year's Eve.
To that meeting.
To that meeting.
Well, I'll be glad when this night's over. Never saw so many drunks even in a palace bar before.
Yeah, Mexico City's really roaring tonight. Hey, what happened to those 2 drinks I just put down here?
Hello, Joan.
Hello, Dan.
Ah, how in the heck did those glasses break? There they are in pieces.
Well, I'll be hanged. Well, I say, whoever did it, may they have a happy new year.
Humphrey Bogart, who co-starred with Joan Bennett in Gene Holloway's adaptation of One Way Passage, will return to our microphone in just a moment.
Halo, everybody, halo. Halo is the shampoo that glorifies your hair. So halo, everybody, halo.
Use Halo shampoo if you want naturally bright and beautiful hair. For soap shampoos leave a film on your hair, but Halo contains no soap, therefore leaves no dulling soap film. The very first time you use Halo, you'll notice your hair glistens in all its natural brilliance. The deep, full, natural color and luster comes sparkling through like sunshine through a clean window pane. And remember, even in the hardest water, Halo makes oceans of rich, fragrant lather. Halo quickly carries away loose dandruff, grease, and dirt. Needs no lemon or vinegar rinse, because Halo leaves no dulling soap film. Nothing to hide your hair's natural beauty. Say hello to Halo and goodbye to dulling soap film. Use Halo on your children's hair, too. Get Halo shampoo at any cosmetic counter. Remember, Halo glorifies your hair.
So halo, everybody, halo. Halo shampoo, halo.
Colgate tooth powder for a breath that's sweet and Halo shampoo to glorify your hair join in thanks to the lovely Joan Bennett and to the dynamic star of Warner Brothers, Humphrey Bogart, for their performances in One Way Passage.
Oh, thanks, Frank. Joan and I were glad to have 2 tickets to One Way Passage tonight. Colgate Halo Theater of Romance moves along at a fast pace these days, and the roster of stars to come is great. Paul Lucas, Gregory Peck, Douglas Fairbanks Jr., Errol Flynn, Cary Grant, and many others are coming your way. And I know you'll be provided with many hours of fine entertainment. See you soon. Good night and good listening.
Bulletin for the future. Next week, Charles Vander's production of Theater Romance for Colgate tooth powder and Halo shampoo stars Paul Lucas in a Christmas classic based on the life of Handel, composer of The Messiah. These presentations of Theater Romance come to you because of your enthusiastic recognition of Colgate tooth powder for a breath that's sweet and Halo shampoo to glorify your hair. This is your host, Frank Graham, saying good night and wishing you love, happiness, romance. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Lipton Tea and Lipton Soup present Inner Sanctum Mysteries. Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum. This is your host to welcome you through the squeaking door for another half hour of lovely chills and shudders. Oh, before we begin tonight, I'd like to give you a word of advice. If you should ever walk through a cemetery at midnight and come face to face with a transparent personality floating above a tombstone, don't be frightened. After all, you can see right through him.
Good gracious, why do we have to talk about cemeteries?
Because, Mary, our story tonight is about a vampire. Where else would you expect to find one if not in a cemetery? In the Vampire State Building?
Well, suppose you go wait in that closet there and talk to the skeleton while I have a word with our Lipton listeners about one secret of success. You know, folks, when a Hollywood actress climbs up to stardom, it's usually because there's something different about her personality. And that's true of other success stories. Lipton Tea, for example, is the largest selling brand of tea in the world because it's different from other teas. Lipton's has that wonderful hearty flavor the tea experts call brisk, which means it's bright and zestful in taste, never wishy-washy or flat. Now, don't take my word for it. Compare Lipton's to other teas yourself. That's the real way to discover Lipton's rich, full flavor, Lipton's extra flavor that brings you all the goodness of a superb tea. It's full-bodied and satisfying, with a smooth, mellow tang that brings you real enjoyment. So pour yourself a cup of Lipton tea, folks, and then see for yourself what a difference that brisk flavor makes.
That's fine, Mary, but quietly, my dear.
Why the whisper, Mr.?
Don't make too much noise or you'll wake the dead. And we don't want to do that because tonight's story is called The Undead. It's an original radio play by Milton Lewis. Yes, and our star tonight is Anne Seymour, who plays the role of Diana.
I was alone here in the penthouse sleeping. The doors leading to the terrace were open. Suddenly, I was awakened by a queer, whirring noise that sounded like the flapping of wings. I opened my eyes. Moonlight filled the room. It was one of those clear, cloudless nights. But the winds moaned and howled like weeping women. Somewhere, a dog howled. I sat up, peered into the green light of the moon. See nothing at first. I lay down again. My eyes were half closed. And I heard it again. The sound of wings beating on the air. I told myself it was nothing. Until out of the queer green shadows that surrounded me like a mist, I saw a pair of blood-red eyes close to my face. No, they weren't human eyes. They were rimmed with green. They glittered like glass in the dark. I looked closer. Too frightened to move. Too terrified to cry out. The thing that seemed to be flying round my head looked like a bat. Yet it wasn't a bat. Suddenly it floated down. I felt soft fur on my neck. Then my throat was pierced with a sharp, terrible pain. I started screaming, "Let me go! Let me go! Richard! Where are you, Richard? Richard!"
Go on, Diana.
When I felt your arms around me, I knew I was safe, Richard, but it was the most horrible dream I ever had.
Yes, I know, darling. You were hysterical.
What do you think it meant?
Well, nothing. Nothing, of course, dear. Everyone has nightmares like that sometime or other.
But it was so vivid. I could almost swear it happened just as I told it to you.
Now, Diana, do you really believe you've encountered a vampire?
I know it sounds ridiculous, darling.
Listen, baby, you're living in New York City on top of an 18-story building. This is 1945, not the Middle Ages. But the whole notion is just rubbish.
I tried to tell myself it was nonsense, too. But somehow... Oh, Richard, I want to get out of this place.
But why?
I don't like this apartment. There's something evil, sinister here. I've always felt it. And listen. Listen to that wind. The wind howls around here all the time.
Well, naturally, it's a penthouse, and it catches the winds from the river.
You hear that? Something flapping on the terrace.
That's just the awning.
There are always queer noises around here. All the time, and I can't bear it being alone here at night. Mister, please don't let me stay here alone tonight.
I can't stay with you, darling. I've got to go to the theater.
I don't want you to go there, please. Let your understudy take the part tonight. Take me away from here. Far away where it's warm and there's sunlight.
Diana, you don't know what you're saying, dear. I can't give up my part in the show.
Of course. Of course. Oh, darling, forgive me, please. I'm sorry I haven't mentioned it. You do forgive me, don't you, Richard? Say you do.
Why, of course. You're just upset over this silly dream.
I know. I won't mention it again.
You're okay, baby. Well, it's 10 to 8. I better get going. Want to come with me?
Yes. No, I'm going to stay here.
But if this place frightens you...
That's just why I'm going to stay. And alone. I'm going to beat this thing. Somehow.
That's better, darling. Much better.
Here's your coat.
Right.
And you better take your scarf. It feels chilly. Richard. I said I won't mention it again, but there's one thing more I have to tell you. That the face of that thing in my dream, it was your face.
Diana, in the name of
I won't
heaven...
talk of it anymore, I promise you, darling. I didn't mean to upset you just before you went to the theater. Just kiss me, dear. I'll be all right. I'll be all right.
Diana.
Good night, dear. I'll be waiting when you get back. It was just midnight, 2 nights later. I was waiting for Richard to come home from the theater. I was going through his desk looking for a postage stamp, and I found something that turned my blood to ice. It was a newspaper clipping dated 10 years ago. The picture of a man, and under it the caption, "Prominent real estate operator Richard Barker found dead of a sudden stroke." I looked at the picture again. There could be no doubt of it. It was Richard. I read further. The deceased will be buried at Greenlawn Cemetery after services in the Westland Funeral Chapel.
Good evening, Diana.
Richard.
Why, what's the matter? You seem startled.
I didn't hear you come in.
Have you been brooding again?
No, Richard. Of course not.
Well, how do you feel tonight?
Not very well.
Weak?
Weak, sleepy, ill.
Well, no wonder. You've hardly been eating a thing. And I know that you never catch a wink of sleep.
I told you I can't sleep in the daytime as you do. As you do.
Why are you staring at me like that?
Why? Why do you sleep in the daytime?
I've been doing it for years.
Years?
What's so terrible about that? Most theatrical people do. We live and work at night.
Yes, I know.
Really, Diana, what is the matter with you?
Nothing. You think I'm losing my mind?
Well, I don't know what to think.
Why are you pretending?
Pretending what?
That you're something other than what you are. Because I know what you are, Richard.
Really?
I found out. This clipping I found in your desk, it tells how you died.
That clipping? Oh, that.
Why are you laughing?
Well, you see, it's a joke. It's a gag. One of my pictures was sent to the papers, publicity for a new play, you know. And a drunken typester put it in the obituary column. It's quite an amusing story.
I don't believe you. You're lying.
Listen, you can't go on like this.
No, don't touch me.
You're not well, darling.
Get your hands away from me.
I just want to kiss
you.
No,
don't touch me.
Diana, where are you going?
Out of here.
Diana, come back.
I'll come back when I've proved something to myself. Is there anyone there?
What do you want, ma'am?
I'm sorry to wake you up. Are you the caretaker here at Greenlawn?
Many years, ma'am.
I want to see the grave of Richard Barker.
Who are you?
Diana Barker. His wife.
But it's 1 a.m, Mrs. Barker.
I know what time it is. I want to see the grave.
No one comes at a time like this.
Please, will you tell me? Perhaps this will help.
$10.
For disturbing you.
All right. You take the path in back of my house. Turn to the right. Have you a flashlight?
I brought one from the car.
It's only a short way, but it isn't a grave, ma'am. It's sort of a tomb.
Thank you. I'll find it.
You You want me to come with you?
No, I've troubled you enough. Good night.
Good night.
Somewhere, an owl was howling, as though warning me not to go on with this insane adventure. But I knew I had to continue. I had to be certain. I followed his directions along the path to the cemetery. The moon poked yellow fingers through scudding clouds, as though showing me the way. I was frightened, terrified. There's nothing to fear from the dead. I kept telling myself I had to keep up my courage. The dead. Perhaps they were right. There was nothing to fear from them. But the undead. There it was. A tomb. The inscription was clear. Here lies Richard Barker, born May 7th, 1890. Died September 4th, 1935. There was a lock on the door. It was old and rusty. I'd come this far. I made up my mind. I picked up a stone. Smashed the lock. I opened the door. Blackness. Inky blackness, such as one imagines one would see at the end of the world. Turned on the flashlight I took from the car. Coffin was lying in the center of the tomb, on an altar. I felt my heart beating wildly, like a throbbing drum inside me. With a trembling hand, I opened the coffin. I looked down on a ghastly white satin lining. That was all there was in the coffin. There was nothing else. It was empty. I looked up. There was a face staring at me in the shadows of the tomb. It was Richard.
Diana, I knew you'd come here.
Well, friends, that just goes to show that an empty coffin makes the most noise. You know, this is the kind of nice domestic story I like. The intimate family chronicle of a vampire.
My goodness, is that what you call intimate family life?
Why, of course, Mary. It looks like our lovebirds will even share the same coffin.
I'm afraid you're drawing a very strange picture of family life, Mr. Holst.
Right, Mary. And now let's go back to our horrors. Let me see. What dire predicament are we in tonight? Oh, yes. Diana has just discovered that her husband was wandering around his tomb. What would you do in a situation like that? Here's what Diana did. Listen.
I ran blindly, stumbling, tearing my clothes. Somehow I managed to reach the car, start the motor. In the car, I knew it wasn't all some dream. People didn't come back from the dead. Did they? Could they? I drove to the city. I wanted to see the lights, people, hear music. I wanted to be sure this was the world I'd always known. I tried to think. I tried to reason. I tried to understand what had happened to me. Because I knew something was happening to me. Something that I dreaded. I was becoming like them. Like Richard. I felt strange cravings. Desires that I didn't dare think of.
Excuse me, Mrs. Barker.
Oh.
May I sit with you?
I don't believe I know you.
But perhaps not. Does it make any difference?
No. No, it doesn't. Please sit down.
Thank you.
I'm glad you came over. I'm glad to be able to talk to anyone tonight.
I've been watching you for the last 10 minutes.
Have you?
You look very strange tonight.
How do you know me?
We all know each other.
We?
Yes. You realize you'll be dead soon.
Dead?
At least what they call dead.
You know what's happened?
Oh, yes, of course. I've seen it happening for weeks, Your face became paler and paler. It will not be long now. You will become one of us.
I don't want to.
It's not in your hands.
It isn't true. It can't be true.
It's quite true. Many of us have gone on for hundreds of years. Those who sustain us become like us.
And
There is no escape.
No, I don't believe it.
Don't you feel it? Blood. That strange desire.
Yes.
There. You see?
I don't want to.
I once tried to fight it, too. It's no use.
I'm going away. Far away, where he can't reach me. I'm going now where no one can reach me.
Waiter! Waiter! Will you help me here? There's been an accident.
Everything is going to be all right, Diana. Just lie here and rest quietly. You're in your own home.
I opened my eyes and saw Claudia, my older sister. Never was so glad to see anyone in all my life. Claudia had always helped me, always advised me. She'd know what to do.
You want something to eat?
No, I'm not hungry.
But the doctor said you'd have to eat.
How did I get here?
You collapsed in the cocktail lounge. They brought you home.
When?
Last night.
It's dark out.
You've been sleeping almost 24 hours.
Where's Richard?
At the theater. Poor boy, he was so worried about you.
Was he?
Well, he sent for me. I've been with you since last night. Diana, what happened?
It's terribly difficult to explain. I sometimes think I'm losing my mind. I'd be sure that's what it is if I hadn't found out differently.
Tell me about it.
I found out Richard is dead. He's been dead for 10 years.
What are you talking about?
It's true, Claudia. I went to Greenlawn. I saw his tomb. I opened it and the coffin was empty.
Diana.
I know what you're thinking, but I'm not insane. He never sleeps at night. Now I feel this strange craving. Claudia, don't steer.
You know what you're saying.
Yes, I know it sounds wild, fantastic, but I haven't told this to anyone, but it's true. There are things in this world you only think are primitive superstitions, but Claudia, you must believe me.
Yes, of course, I'll believe you, dear.
We must destroy Richard. I read about those things. We must destroy him by driving a wooden stake through his heart. That's the only way I can escape from him. That's the only way I can become a human being again.
Diana.
You'll help me, Claudia.
Of course, dear. Haven't I always helped you?
Where are you going?
Just to fix you something to eat.
No, you're going to leave me. Leave me here alone with him. I won't let you do that, Claudia.
That gun. Where did you get that gun?
We've always had one here. Ever since I first told Richard I was afraid of this place. You're not going to leave me alone now, Claudia. I'm not going to let you.
Of course not.
Get away from that door.
That's what you want.
Claudia, come back. No. I got him. Gone. Insane. She was so sure I was insane, she didn't even give me a chance to explain. I was alone in the house. I felt terribly weak. I wanted to sleep. I wanted to sleep forever and ever. But I knew if I lay down and closed my eyes, I might never open them again. Never open them and see the world as you or I used to. I'd be something else. I looked at the clock. Almost midnight. Richard would be coming back any minute. I ran to the door, locked it from the inside with a safety bolt. What to do? What to do? Police. I ran to the telephone.
Operator?
Hello, operator. Get me the police and hurry, please.
1 moment, please.
Hurry, will you? This is a matter of life and death. Hello, are you ringing them?
Police department. Sergeant Kilway talking.
Hello, police. You've got to help me.
Yes, what is it, please?
My husband, he's going to do something to me tonight. He's going to make me what he is.
What's that, lady?
He's been dead for 10 years. I saw his empty coffin. That's proof, isn't it? That's evidence. You always want evidence, and there it is. Now, do you understand?
Well, I'm not sure I do, lady. What's your name?
Diana Barker.
Well, all right. Now, calm down. Tell me where you live.
I live... Oh, you think I'm insane, too, don't you?
I didn't say that.
You think I'm crazy, just as Claudia does.
If you'll just give me the address, lady.
Oh, what's the use?
Please, lady.
No one believes it. I know I'm not insane. I know it, and yet... What's that? His key in the lock. He can't open it. It's bolted from the inside. He's trying to get in. But he can't. Not with that bolt. I won't open it. I won't. I'll just pretend I don't hear it. I'll cover my ears with my hands and I won't hear it. He can't get in here. If I can keep him out until daylight, I'll be safe. Safe. Suddenly, the doorbell stopped. I knew he hadn't gone away. I could feel him near me. But he couldn't get in. No, he couldn't get into the penthouse. There was no way to get in unless he came through the terrace. And there was no way to get on the terrace unless he could fly. Fly. The wind was screaming. When I turned to look at the French doors leading to the terrace, it was impossible. He couldn't. And yet, the doors burst open. The wind blew through the house like a cyclone. The airframe and the double doors. Stood Richard!
Why didn't you let me in?
How did you get out on the terrace?
Never mind. What are you doing with that gun?
Don't come near me, Richard.
Diana?
Go away. Go away and leave me alone.
Give me that gun.
No.
I'm warning you, Diana. You'd better give it to me.
If you take another step toward me, I'll fire.
Diana? You see?
The bullets. They didn't harm you.
No.
But I didn't miss.
No.
Empty.
You see? It didn't do any good.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to put an end to this once and for all, Diana.
An end?
I've prepared for this. I have a knife. You see?
Richard.
Don't be afraid, Diana. You won't quite die.
No, don't.
Come here, Diana.
No, Richard, no.
You're making too much trouble while you're alive.
Help me, someone! Let go of me! No! I saw the knife over my throat. I beat at his chest with the empty pistol. Then, just before everything became black, I saw 3 flashes of lightning.
Go on, Mrs. Barker.
When I woke up in the hospital, Inspector, I couldn't believe that I was still alive. It seemed like a miracle.
You would have been dead if it wasn't for your sister.
Claudia.
She came back with one of our men. He shot and killed your husband just as he was about to plunge the dagger into you.
But how did he get in?
He came over the adjoining terrace from the penthouse next door, just as your husband did. No, Mrs. Barker. Your husband didn't fly.
But the other things, the picture, the tomb, the empty coffin.
All props for an elaborate scheme your husband worked out to murder you. Richard Barker is not an uncommon name. He found a man with that name who died 10 years ago. He removed the body. He got the whole idea from the dream you told him.
But why?
To establish that you were insane.
Oh.
He planned to murder you and claim he did it in self-defense to protect himself against an insane woman.
But the gun...
Filled with blanks. He wanted to get your money, Mrs. Barker.
But the way I felt, those strange cravings...
You're suffering from anemia. The doctor told us that. It's not uncommon for anemia sufferers to feel the way you did.
I still can't believe it. I still feel that he isn't quite dead.
I'll relieve that fear right now. His body's in the other room. I think you should see it. Come this way, Mrs. Barker. There. Raise the lid of the coffin, Charlie.
Yes, Inspector.
What's the matter?
He looks so lifelike. His lips are so red. He looks as though he could move. Get up at any minute.
Nonsense. I assure you he's quite dead, Mrs. Barker. And I can further assure you that the police department has never encountered one authentic vampire in its history.
You're very reassuring, Inspector. I think I'd better leave now. Don't bother to see me at the door. Bye.
All right, Charlie. Cover him up and have him buried.
Okay, Inspector.
Huh? What is it, Charlie?
Inspector. Maybe I'm nuts, but I could swear that I saw him move.
Oh, nonsense. Close the lid. It's getting dark, Charlie. Sun sure goes down quick these winter days. I'm going home. Good night, Charlie.
Well, friends, do you think Richard is really dead? That's something for you to sleep on when you go to bed tonight. Oh, and by the way, we have a moral for tonight's story. Yes, it's taken from a diary of Miss Delirium Tremens, who once said, "Never marry a vampire. He may turn out to be 500 years old without a social security number to his name. How can a girl have any fun going around with a guy like that?"
Well, Mr. Host, I don't think that's a serious problem. I'm positive that no girl will ever meet a vampire, much less marry one.
Ah, but you can't be sure, Mary. The safest thing is to drive a wooden stake through your husband's heart Yes, if he dies, then he must be a vampire.
Oh, such foolishness. Let's forget all this talk about vampires, because I want to tell the folks about something wonderful that's going to happen next week. Next Tuesday's Christmas, you know. So instead of our usual mystery thriller, Inner Sanctum will bring you a tender and beautiful Christmas play called The Littlest Angel. And our star will be that great and beloved actress, Helen Hayes. So be sure to tune into this station at the regular Inner Sanctum time next week. I promise you, The Littlest Angel, starring Helen Hayes, and brought to you by the makers of Lipton Tea and Lipton Soup, will be the crowning pleasure of your Christmas day.
That sounds great, Mary. You know, Christmas is really wonderful. There's something about it that gets even the most hardened characters. Oh, by the way, this month's Inner Sanctum mystery novel is The Fearful Passage by H.C. Branson. And don't forget what Mary told you, friends. Next week, we'll bring you Inner Sanctum's special Christmas program, directed by Hyman Brown and starring Helen Hayes, America's First Lady of the Theater. There'll be no gore, no chill. Not even one little murder, believe it or not. The holiday spirit is getting even worse. So be sure to join us next Tuesday. Meanwhile, I'm going to do my Christmas shopping. You know where I can get a nice fur-lined coffin for a cold-blooded friend? Until next Tuesday, then. Good night. Pleasant dreams.
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber, McGee, and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax products for home and industry present Fibber, McGee, and Molly, written by Don Quinn and Phil Leslie, with music by the Kingsmen and Billy Mills Orchestra. What two things are you most anxious to have in your home? Aren't they beauty and cleanliness? Well, think for a moment how easily and inexpensively you can have both beauty and cleanliness just with an occasional application of genuine Johnson's Wax to your floors, furniture, and woodwork. A rich, mellow, polished wax surface is a thing of beauty in itself. The wax brings out the grain and beauty of the wood. It adds a soft luster to leather, linoleum, and metal surfaces. And, of course, this tough wax film protects these surfaces against wear, dirt, and moisture. Dust and dirt do not adhere readily to a wax-polished surface. So cleaning is not only easier, but a waxed home is actually cleaner and more sanitary. Johnson's Wax is of the very finest quality and long-wearing. The cost is really very little. So why not practice protective housekeeping in your home with genuine Johnson's Wax? Dealers everywhere carry it. There are certain people who simply won't admit that nature does anything right. They are the kind who gild cattails, paint Whose Little Tootsie Are You on the shells of baby turtles, and clip poodle dogs to look like anemic lions. Here's one of those people now, as we meet Fibber, McGee, and Molly.
Hey, Fred, how much you charge me to paint this Christmas tree white?
Why do you want it white, McGee?
What do you mean, why do I want it white? You got 100 trees in this lot you've painted white.
Yeah, and I think they're horrible. What? Some people like them that way.
Never mind the artistic comment, Fred. How much?
$10.
$10? To spray a little white paint on this half-pint tree? Who do you think you are, Rembrandt? Looky here. Maybe you didn't understand, Fritz. I want this tree painted white, not gold-plated.
$10.
You're a pirate, and I'll bet you've made $200 already today.
You're a cheapskate, and I've made $340.
You're a robber, and you want to sell a half interest in this joint?
You're a stoop, and I wouldn't sell my own mother a half interest.
You're a low-down no-good. The dirty swindler. $10 to spray a little tree white. The rat. Cheating people right and left. Making $400 a day. The chiseler. I don't know whether to report him to the OPA or make him a better offer for a half interest. Low-down chiseler.
What's the matter, McGee? This time.
That guy, Fred Corrigan, that runs the Christmas tree lot at 14th and Oak. That dirty pine broker. Wanted to charge me $10 to paint our Christmas tree white.
Well, that does seem a little high, dearie. But think of the work there is to it. Putting all those needles back on after the paint dries.
They don't take the needles off. They just spray the trees. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. That's all there is to it.
Well, if wishing will make it so, why don't you do it yourself?
If it's a $10 job, I can't afford to pay myself that much. Besides, I haven't got a paint spray, so... Hey, haven't we got a paint spray attachment on the vacuum cleaner?
Oh, dear.
Oh, my gosh, I can have that tree painted white before you can say, don't it look awful?
Now, McGee, please, I realize we need the house painted, but not on the inside. Let's leave the tree green.
Oh, you'll love a white one, Snooky. It's a modern thing. Nobody uses green trees anymore. They're outmoded.
You don't say. Well, tell me, Salvador. What color snow are people using this year? Chartreuse?
No kidding, Molly. White Christmas trees are all the rage. Everybody.
They must be. They throw me into one. Now, look, sweetheart, just put the tree up and trim it. I love a green Christmas tree. Don't you, Alice?
Don't I what, Mrs. McGee?
Look, Molly, I'll put it up to Alice fair and square and let her give an opinion. Here's the proposition, kid. If you were going to have a Christmas tree, which would you rather have? A dusty, drab, dirty old green one or a bright, snappy, glistening white one?
Which, Alice?
Mistletoe.
Mistletoe. What an answer.
Well, jeepers, don't you like to hang up a little bouquet of mistletoe, Mr. McGee?
Oh, he's too shy, Alice.
I am not shy. What good is mistletoe? Catch somebody under it, and it's either somebody you can kiss anyway, like your wife, or you get a slap in the chops before you can point up to it. Mistletoe, bah. That's just poison ivy with berries.
Well, we'll put some up, Alice, and you'll see who manages to spend most of his time loitering around beneath it.
Yeah.
But honestly now, dear, do you like a white Christmas tree?
Well, I like them all, Mrs. McGee. I don't care if they're purple. Gertrude always has a white one, though, and she likes them.
Who's Gertrude? We know her.
Oh, she's the boy who always rides past here in the cream-colored Cadillac and honks his horn, sister.
Ah, yes. I see. Well, himself here used to go with a man who owned a Stutz Bearcat's knees.
Yeah, but I gave her up for an old guy with a broken-down Maxwell's daughter. But honestly now, Alice, don't you really prefer a white Christmas tree?
Well, I got awfully tired of them, Mr. McGee. When I was a little girl, my father gave us kids some little tiny paintbrushes and told us to paint a Christmas tree white.
Heavenly days.
Wow.
It must have taken you children a long time to paint a tree with little brushes. How long did it take you, Alice?
Oh, we never did get it finished. But it kept us off the streets till we were 18 years old. Well, I got to wrap some presents. See you later.
Bright kid. How all that lovely golden hair can grow out of that solid bone, I'll never know.
Oh, she's awfully sweet, though, McGee. There isn't a mean thought in Alice's head.
No, nor any other kind. Well, this ain't getting my tree sprayed.
Where'd you leave the tree, dearie?
Out in front. I can attach the vacuum cleaner cord from the porch light. Now, let me see if I get the porch...
Come in. Oh, hello there, Dr. Gamble.
Hello, Molly. How are you today, pantry paunch?
Fine, Jumbo, fine. You out spreading a little Christmas cheer, telling your patients you're going to retire?
Oh. He's not going to retire for years yet, are you, Doctor?
My dear, I will retire on that far distant day when I can write a personal check for $400 and not have the hired help at the Fourth National Bank burst into hysterical laughter.
Why, go on, you old miser. You got that much buried under a loose brick in the fireplace right now. The trouble with you is you got more affection for $1 than my wife has for a pound of butter. And that's the love match of the year, Fatso.
You have no right to say that, though, McGee. Dr. Gamble does more private charity work than anybody in town.
Certainly. I'm a very noble character. When I walk down the street, flowers spring into bloom. Oh. Birds burst into song, and taxicabs honk twice before they try to kill me. Well, I got to run along now. This is my busy season, you know.
I suppose the children keep you pretty busy around Christmas time, Doctor, huh?
No, it's the so-called grown-ups, my dear.
Huh?
This is the silly season, when 200-pound men start climbing 49-cent stepladders to wire dime store angels to the tops of $3 Christmas trees and wind up in a $500 plastic hat. Penny-wise and compound fracture foolish.
Don't you want to stick around and watch me trim our Christmas tree, Doc? I'm painting it white.
Well, you don't have to do that, skipwit.
Huh?
When I put my gift for you under it, it'll turn white.
Billy Mills and the orchestra and the Parade of the Wooden Soldiers.
Doggone thing, there it goes again. Clogs up like a sentimental woman at a sad movie.
What seems to be the matter, dear?
This paint spray goes along all right for a minute, then it chokes up. And when it comes loose again, it throws a blob of paint that'd knock IQ out of the balcony.
Well, pound it on the porch steps. And maybe that'll loosen it up.
Okay, I will.
There, now try it.
Okay. Ah!
Oh, heavenly days, McGee, you almost hit me with that.
I'm sorry, kiddo. I didn't know it was loaded. Well, here we go. There, now it's Dad ratted had done it again. Clogged up.
Well, hurry up and get the job finished, McGee. It's colder than a lineman's lunch out here.
Well, you go on in the house if you want. I can handle this all right.
No, I've got to stay out here and tell people who you are.
Huh?
You get a little more of that white paint on you, and they'll think you're a badly constructed snowman.
Okay. Ah, that does it. Now, I'll have this street straight before you can
Watch
say...
your aim, dearie.
Huh?
No, you better shut it off. Here comes Mrs. Carstairs.
Oh.
Hello there, Mrs. Carstairs. Won't you come in the house and have a slug of tea?
No, thank you, my dear. I'm just out walking my Pekingese and must hurry along.
What Pekingese, Carsty? I don't see him.
Oh, it was too cold for him to come along, Mr. McGee. But as long as one of us goes out, he's satisfied.
It's really a sweet little dog, Millicent, from what I've seen of him.
Personally, I wouldn't have one of them four-legged dust mops as a gift. Give me a man-sized dog. I ever tell you about the hunting dog I had once, Carsty, by the name of Durante?
Durante?
Yeah, what a nose that dog had. Never forget one time we were walking through the woods. Me and my dog, pipe over my shoulder, gun in my mouth.
What was that again?
Gun over my shoulder and pipe in my mouth, when all of a sudden Durante freezes. He's on point. Nose quivering, tail out like a ramrod. 1 foot in the air. I raises my gun, walks slowly forward, and there, not 10 feet away, was a guy sitting on a stump.
That was quite a dog, Mr. McGee. Trained to flush game wardens, was he?
No, sir. I bawled the dog out, and then I was never so ashamed in my life. It was the smartest thing he'd ever done.
Why?
Well, sir, I got talking to the guy, and you know what? His name was Partridge.
Oh.
Henry W. Partridge. Wasn't that wonderful, Carsey?
No, I don't think that's so remarkable, Mr. McGee. In the light of what a police dog of mine once did.
What was that, Millicent? After all, it's so cold out tonight, the bologna won't spoil.
Well, this dog of ours was extremely intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
One day I had him in the post office, and I noticed he was staring at the police posters on the wall. Suddenly, he dashed out the door and was gone.
Probably went out to steal an apple off a fruit stand, Carsey.
No. When I got home, he was gripping our butler by the vest pocket and was barking into the telephone, which he'd knocked off the table. When the police arrived, it turned out that Jarvis was wanted by the authorities in 3 states.
Yes, but why was your dog holding him by the vest pocket, Millicent?
That was where our butler kept his fountain pen. You see, he was wanted for forgery. Well, so nice to have seen you. Good evening.
Who does she think she's kidding? I don't believe a word of that stuff. I'll bet she made that whole thing up.
Well, never mind her, dearie. Get busy with that paint before it freezes solid, will you?
Oh, gee, it might at that. Well, back to work. There she goes. Yeah.
Stopped up again, McGee?
Yeah, the doggone thing. I only got about a third of this tree sprayed, too. Maybe if... Hey.
What?
How could Carstairs' dog be gripping the butler by the vest and barking into the phone at the same time?
Why, she didn't say he was gripping the butler with his teeth, dearie.
Huh?
You know, after all, a dog as smart as that could hold him down with one hind paw, dial the police station with the other, and use his front feet to take fingerprints.
Yeah, maybe, but how she... Oh, well, why should I worry? That's better yet.
You're getting more paint on yourself than you are on the tree, McGee.
Well, the wind keeps changing. They ought to make these paint sprays with a weather vane on them. Why, George, if...
Oh, dear. In the time you've taken to get this tree a dirty gray, Pet, I could have whitewashed the KIBM National Forest with a flip gun.
Well, doggone it, I don't see...
Hello, folks. What's going on
Hello,
here?
Mr. Wilcox.
Hi, Junior. Pull up a front step and give yourself a 3-point landing.
You want your Christmas tree painted white, Mr. Wilcox? Start home and get it.
Yeah, I won't be out here very long, Junie. As soon as I adjust the nozzle on this...
Hey, wait a minute, Mac. Do you mean to stand there like a front man for painter's colic and tell me you're actually going to ruin that pretty little tree with white paint? Ruining that refugee from the forest primeval? Despoiling a magnificent evergreen?
Skip the dramatics, Junior. We know you memorized Evangeline in high school.
And you played the heavy in the Chautauqua Company of Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm, too, didn't you, Mr. Wilcox?
The juvenile lead, if you please. I also had 3 seasons of Shakespeare.
A likely story. When you play Shakespeare, son, that's when Othello needs a friend.
Everyone in Omaha, I'll have you know, said I was another Barrymore. Why, when I came out in my tights and said, "Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I."
You can say that again.
Now, hush, McGee. I love Shakespeare. Go on, Mr. Wilcox.
Is it not monstrous that this player here, seeing a lady forced to menial task and seeing such drudgery, would not then dispense a thing called Johnson's glow coat? Forsooth, a goodly fluid, which spread upon the scullery linoleum would thus eliminate the scrub. No rub, no bump. Just pour it on, and in 1/3 the time it takes for our glass to turn, it dries.
If Shakespeare ain't in the public domain, this 2-bit Orson Welles is going to be sued for $9 million.
Ah, yes, it dries. And so mirror-like it gleams. The porridge spilled, wiped off, leaves not a single spot. The labor saved, the hours gained, the beauty seen. 'Tis glow coat. Beloved by chatelaine and serving wench alike. Your nearest dealer.
Hey, now wait a minute, Mr. Wilcox. Is that in Hamlet?
My dear girl, it's in every hamlet, every village, every town, city, and metropolis. Every place where a housewife takes pride in the appearance of her kitchen. And if I don't get back to the office in the next 10 minutes, I'll find myself back in Chautauqua. So long, kid.
There goes the biggest ham I've seen since Blue Boy went to the state fair. He better be careful or he'll wind up on a platter with an apple in his mouth. Now, but this ain't getting my tree spade.
Well, hurry up. You almost got it done now.
Yeah. Let's see. I get it all loosened up good. Ah! There she goes. Ah, this is the best it's been yet.
Yeah.
Look how white the tree is getting, Molly.
There's one question I'd like to ask you, McGee. Are you sure
Don't bother me now, kiddo. I'm doing too good. Hot dog. Ain't that getting beautiful? I finally got this spray gun working perfect.
I know, but look, McGee, I've been wanting to ask you if...
Waiter, Tootsie, waiter. I'm just about finished now. Just up there a little bit. Ah. Oh, gee, I'm through. All done. And believe me, that's the whitest white Christmas tree you'll ever see. Now, won't you admit this is a mighty pretty effect, baby?
Yes, if you like that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll go and make some hot coffee, dearie.
Okay.
McGee,
Huh?
whose Christmas tree is this on the front porch?
Oh, that's the one I bought this morning that I'm going to paint white. What? Oh, my gosh, what tree did I paint?
The one that's been growing there in the yard all these years. Bring in the vacuum cleaner when you come.
Of all that dead. If I ain't the dumbest bloke that ever drew breath. A wise guy. A know-it-all. Can't tell one tree from another, one that's growing and one that ain't. I'm a sapit. I'm a brainless, incompetent, ham-handed butterfingers. If I wasn't so stupid, I'd never let me sit here and insult myself like this. Dad rat the dead.
Hi, mister. What's the matter?
I know that voice. Is that you, Teeny?
Sure it is, I betcha. What you sitting there with your head in your hands for, mister? Got a headache? Want me to get you an aspirin, Want me to,
No, thanks. Medicine won't touch the kind of headache I got. I just busted my ego in 4 places.
Gee, I'm sorry, mister.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Who did that?
Huh? Who did what?
Who painted that tree white? Gee, is that ever beautiful?
Yeah, but that ain't the one
And it's growing right there in your yard.
Yeah, you see, I got a little confused. And
Oh, Mr. McGee, you're wonderful.
Huh? I am?
You're the nicest man in town, I bet you. You put your Christmas tree right out in the front yard where everybody can share it with you, didn't you?
Well, I didn't exactly.
See, all the kids in the neighborhood are going to love you for this, mister. Boy, I can hardly wait till you get it all lighted up.
You can't, eh? I said you can't, eh?
Can't what?
You can't wait till I get it all lighted up.
Gee, neither can I. And you know what, mister?
What?
When it's growing in the ground like that, it can't wobble and fall over either. Our Christmas tree at home is always wobbly.
Yeah, lots of people make that mistake, sis. They don't stop to think if they were a tree and got all lit up and then came into a warm room, they'd wobble a little too. Skip it. So you think it looks all right out here in the front yard, huh?
Oh, boy. I'll say. Now all the little children that haven't got Christmas trees can come and see yours, can't they?
Yeah, I kind of planned to get a lot of little bags of candy and stuff and let the kids help themselves Christmas Eve, sis. I just planned that. Think they'd like that?
Gee, will they ever? And us kids will sing.
Sing what?
You know, the song we sing for you every Christmas time. 'Twas the night before Christmas, the one we just recorded.
Oh.
Would you like to hear it now, mister? Would you?
Yes. Yes, I believe I would, sis.
Okay. Hey, Kenny, Johnny, Buddy, Randy, come here. He wants to hear it, all right.
A wonderful bunch of kids going around the neighborhood with a 30-piece orchestra.
Was the night before Christmas and all through the house. Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hope that St. Nicholas soon would be there.
The children were nestled all warm in their wee little beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their wee little heads. Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long
bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, threw open the sash. Then, what to my wondering, I should appear but a miniature sleigh, and a tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick that I knew right away that it must be St. Nick. Oh, bundled in fur from his head to his foot, old Santa was covered with ashes and soot. I drew in my head and was turning around, when down the chimney he came with a
His eyes, how they twinkle. His dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses. His nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow. The beard on his chin was as white as the snow.
The stump of a little old pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke went around and around and around his head like a wreath. He was so chubby and plump, all right, jolly old elf. That'll laugh, let us know I'm in spite of myself. He had a broad face, and a little round belly. It shook when he laughed, like a ball full of jelly. He gave me a wink of his eye and a twist of his head. A chuckle and a smile I knew all the while I had nothing to dread.
He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings.
Oh, boy.
Then turned with a jerk and laying a finger aside of his nose
and giving a nod up the chimney he goes. He sprang to his sleigh, he gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim as he drove on a side, Merry Christmas to all, and to all, good after Christmas and all through the house, not a creature is stirring, not even a mouse. The presents are scattered and broken, I fear, and St. Nicholas won't come again for a year. Children are nestled all warm in their wee little beds,
while memories of sugar plums dance in their wee little heads.
Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap are settled at last for a long
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Starring Bob Hope and his special guest, Wayne Morris.
much. How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? This is Bob broadcasting from San Francisco Hope. Well, here we are in the Golden Gate City. I love playing in San Francisco with all these hills. It's really wonderful. When you lay an egg here, it rolls down and disappears into the bay. The dogs here in San Francisco don't have their tails clipped. They just wear them off going down the hill. I followed a cute little blonde down Powell Street today, but it didn't do any good. When we got to the bottom, she was 2 feet taller than I was. And Market Street is really something. Big buildings on each side, 6 streetcars in the middle, and a sidewalk on the other side if you live. Photographers were all down at the railroad station when I arrived, but I didn't like the pictures that came out in the papers. There's no use talking. I'll have to learn to climb down those Pullman steps frontwards. That's a joke you have to think about for a minute. I wish I'd thought about it a minute before I put it in. I went into a store here called O'Connor Moffat, and it was so crowded, O'Connor was standing on Moffat's shoulder. O'Connor was standing on Moffat's shoulders, and they were both wearing the same suit. I won't say the store was jammed, but before I got through the revolving door, 3 of my ribs had been gift wrapped. And things scarce. I went to 4 stores today, and the only 2 things I could find was a pair of women's bloomers, size 58, and a jade tooth. And after all, what can I do with a jade tooth? But it would have been a pleasant day here if I hadn't gotten a bright idea. I wanted to get the women away from the tie counter, so I walked to another counter and hollered, "Nylon's over here." And the next thing I knew, they were flying my wife to my bedside.
It's a chicken! It's a crow! It's a buzzard!
Run for your lives, it's Kelowna.
Once there was a little girl who lives next to me, and she loved a sailor boy. I was only 3. Now I'm on a battleship in my sailor suit, just a great big sailor man, but I'm just as cute.
Tell my father, go to Navy Blue. He loves a sailor and he loves her too.
I'm her pappy of the poop deck, coat of navy blue. She's my little anchor, I'm her tanker too. Now other girlies pass me by, but I don't care at all. She's my little rudder bar, and I'm her little yawl. The reason why I think that she is so sublime, she thinks my mustache is too divine.
Tell Father Crowder, go to Navy Blue. He loves a sailor and he loves her too.
And on a nice day when the weather's clear, we take out our schooners and fill them full of beer. I promised we'd get married and I put out to sea, but come the fall she bought a yawl and took out after me. I fired a friendly salvo, but she returned the blast right between the forward hatch and the mizzen mast. I was on the top deck as she came along, trying to get a native girl to sell me her sarong. I'll give you one guess. What was my reward?
Bell bottom Crowder, go to Navy Blue. He loves a sailor and he loves her too.
That was long ago. Now everything is fine. We have some little sailor lads, as I remember, 9. Bell bottom Crowder, go to Navy Blue. When this war is over, we'll sail the ocean blue with all our little skippers making up the crew. We'll sit up on the poop deck enjoying peace of mind. They'll be trailing in our wake, their dinghies out behind. If I look rolling at a glass,
I'm as jumpy as a puppet on a string. I'd say that I had spring fever, but I know it isn't spring. I am starry-eyed and vaguely discontented, like a nightingale without a song to sing. Oh, why should I have spring fever when it isn't even spring? I keep wishing I were somewhere else, walking down a strange new street, hearing words that I have never heard from a boy I've yet to meet. I'm as busy as a spider spinning daydreams. I'm as giddy as a baby on a swing. I haven't seen a crocus or a rosebud or a robin on the wing, but I feel so gay in a melancholy way that it might as well be spring. It might as well be
Well, here I am driving over to my girl's house. Maybe snowing, but it's always spring to me when I'm with Francie. Boy, I'm really living tonight. Francis's kisses are intoxicating, and I'm in a lost weekend mood. Funny that I go courting Francie in this sleigh. It's the same one in which Pa courted Ma. He begged and begged her all winter to marry him, and she had to wait until the spring thaw set in to answer. Then she couldn't say yes any. She was so cold her teeth just chattered yes in Morse code. Well, here's Francie's house. Whoa, Dobbin. Is Francie home, Miss Langford?
Yes, Robert, but I don't want you tracking up my carpet. Before you come in, sit down and clean that snow out from between your toes. Hello, Robert.
Oh, hiya, Francie. How do you like my ear muffs?
They're nice, Robert, but aren't they a little large?
Well, I gotta have some place to carry my lunch. Well, let's go, Francie. You got the sleigh right outside.
Oh, wonderful. Goodbye, Ma. I'm going out for a ride with Robert. Goodbye, dear. Don't forget to take your hat pins. Oh, by the way, Mother, I think it's time you knew. Robert Hope and I are engaged. You're engaged to Robert Hope?
That's your mother. She has to make a scene about everything.
Gee, it's still snowing. It must be getting deep.
Yeah, if it keeps up all night, I'll have to put a shorter string in my yo-yo. Well, here we are, Francie. How do you like my sleigh?
Well, it's all right, but why didn't you buy a real one?
Well, they're too expensive, and besides, nobody was taking a bath anyway. Say, it's a pretty big step up into the sleigh, Francie. There, give me your arm. There you are.
All right, Robert. Now you help me get in.
Okay, you all set? Come on, Dobbin, get in. Come on now, get in.
Robert, I know you have long eyelashes, but don't you think you ought to buy a whip?
Yeah, but this way my mascara dries faster.
Isn't it wonderful riding along like this, Robert? I wish we could sit a little closer together with nothing to keep us apart.
Yeah, it's too bad the horse's tail froze straight back like that.
Where are we going, Robert?
I made an appointment with a real estate agent to look at a cottage. After we're married, Francie, just think, you can spend your honeymoon there.
Me? Aren't you going to spend the honeymoon with me?
Well, shucks, if you don't think I'd just be in the way.
Oh, Robert, won't it be wonderful when we're married? Just you and I together. You helping me with the dishes,
helping me with the cooking, helping me with the laundry.
Yeah, I'll say I'll even help you deliver it. Look, Francie, there's the real estate man that's going to show us our little dream cottage. Whoa, boy. Whoa, boy.
Well, are you the newlyweds that came out to look at the house?
That's right. Rob and I are going to settle down, and in a year or two, we may have a couple of little Roberts.
Oh, well, in that case, I better show you a place with trees. So you two are going to get married, eh?
Are we? Tell him, Francie, whose itsy-bitsy poopsy whoopsy is who?
Why, I'm your itsy-bitsy poopsy wootsy, Robert, and whose itsy-bitsy poopsy whoopsy are you?
Well, I'm your itsy-bitsy poopsy whoopsy.
What's the matter, you crazy wazy or something? Love, I was just married myself today. What a lovely, delightful bride. I kissed her for 3 hours without stopping.
You kissed her for 3 hours without stopping. How come?
Our mustaches froze together.
Well, what about our honeymoon cottage?
Well, let me show you around. Now, honey, if you buy one of our honeymoon cottages, I always guarantee the bride a lifetime of happiness.
Well, what about the groom?
Let him get his own dates. Well, folks, this little love nest is yours for $5,000.
$5,000. Okay, we'll take it. Well, there. That's my check. It's a bad pen. Come on, friends. What are you using, a nail, kid? Make a check out on sandpaper. Here's my check. Come on, Francis. Let's go inside.
Well, so long, sucker.
Hey, Francis, wait a minute. The house is moving. It's moving out into the bay. What kind of a place did you sell us?
What tourist didn't recognize the Oakland Ferry? Here, steady in it.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. It doesn't show signs of stopping, and I brought some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I'll hate going out in the storm. But if you'll really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. The fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we're still goodbye. But as long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Finally kiss goodnight, how I hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. The fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we're still goodbye. But as long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Trudy and boys, ladies and gentlemen, tonight I want to welcome back a hometown boy who made good in the big fracas, one of California's contributions to the eclipse of the Nips, screen star and naval flying hero, Lieutenant Commander Wayne Morris. How about plane with you? Well, look at those shoulders.
Thanks very much. I am happy to be here in San Francisco. Very happy.
Very happy?
Yes.
You're a Los Angeles boy, aren't you?
Huh? Yes. I was born in Los Angeles, but for a while I came up here and lived in San Francisco.
Oh, really? Were you a freelance agent or a member of the regular underground?
As a matter of fact, I do come from Los Angeles, Bob. In fact, I lived right next door to Betty Grable until I was 10 years old, and my folks moved away.
Oh, why'd they do that?
Well, my wisdom teeth were coming in a little bit too fast.
Well, Wayne, that's life for you. You live next door to a girl like Betty Grable, and you get old enough to appreciate it, and some other guy horns in.
Yes, it's too bad it wasn't you. You could have given him some competition.
Well, it's great for opening my fan mail anyway.
I've been looking around the town. San Francisco has really changed a lot lately, hasn't it?
Yeah, the civilians are walking on the sidewalks again. Say, you were a lieutenant commander, weren't you, Wayne? Just what is that?
Well, that's a rank about halfway between Nimitz and Popeye.
Popeye, that's a sailor in San Francisco on a windy day. But, Wayne, I understand. Come along, we'll have fun. Wayne, I understand you had 3 planes shot out from under you. Say, did you ever get the feeling you weren't coming back?
Never, Bob. I always knew I'd come back. I had to come back.
Well, what made you so sure?
Warner Brothers had it in my contract.
Well, it's nice to have it. Who's that? That's like a mic fixing a mic, isn't that something? Skinny Ennis came up and adjusted the mic. What, are you picking up a little side money, kid? Unions are pretty strong up here, you know. What do you want, Stack? Okay, let's move on. This got a nasty look from the producer. Where are we here? Oh, yes, there. Well, you said Warner Brothers had it in my contract. Then I say... Wouldn't it be great if we had 45 minutes, huh? Well, it was nice to have it down in black and white. That was supposed to be a laugh until Bones came up there. You know, Wayne, by the way, my brother was shot down 3 times.
How'd that happen, Bob?
Well, the ladder was short, the wall was tall, and the warden was looking. You're out, Wayne. I suppose you're going back to Warner Brothers.
Naturally, but my lovemaking is a little rusty. Say, have you seen their new star, Lauren Bacall?
Yeah, nice sort of rust remover, isn't she? But you do all right, Wayne. I notice these waves in the audience really go for you.
Oh, no, Bob. It's just that I knew a lot of these girls. Met them overseas.
Really? Well, I'd like to get a date tonight with a gorgeous girl. Oh! Got memories, huh? Well, look, I'd like to get a date tonight with a gorgeous girl. You think you could fix me up?
No, not enough.
It's only paper moon sailing over a cardboard sea, but it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. Yes, it's only a canvas sky hanging over a muslin tree, but it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. Without your love, it's a honky-tonk parade. Without your love, it's a melody played in a penny arcade. It's a Barnum and Bailey world, just as phony as it can be, but it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. Without your love, it's a honky-tonk parade. Without your love, it's a melody played in a penny arcade. It's the Barnum and Bailey world, just as close as it can be. But it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me.
I think I'll call the pilot on the intercom. Gunner to pilot. Gunner to pilot.
Here's your party. Deposit 10 cents, please.
Boy, they really found jobs for those waves, didn't they? Hey, Lieutenant, target at 4 o'clock. Oh, boy, I got him in my sights. Take that. Ha-ha, winged him. Take this. And this. And this. Ha-ha, I got him. I got him. I got him.
Oh, that's nice work, Hope. That's the third seagull you've downed today.
Yeah, one more and I get the bronze egg.
There's our carrier down there. I'm going to land. All set, Hope. Here we go in for a landing.
I think it'd have been better if we'd let both wheels down.
Jiggers, here comes the skipper.
Attention, men. Who was flying that plane? I said who was flying that plane. Speak up. Don't stand there pointing at each other.
I was flying it, Commander Ennis.
Oh, you again, huh? Every time you land, you crack up a plane. What made you do that?
I used to run a parking lot on Powell Street. Sir?
And none of your lip, Lieutenant. None of your lip. Ensign. Seaman. Civilian.
Are you finished, sir?
No, I'm not finished. Just as I thought. Pink ones with the lace on them.
I'll get them back to you in the morning, sir. I would like to make my flight report now, sir. At 16:20 o'clock, we encountered a flight of 7 Zeros. Tail gunner Hope shot all of them down in flames.
Excellent, Hope. I'm proud of you.
Oh, they were easy, sir, especially the first 4 when I still had ammunition.
You shot down 3 Zeros in flames after you were out of ammunition?
Yes, sir. Used incendiary spitballs.
Incendiary spitballs?
Yes, sir. The only tough thing about it is now I'll have to wait until I get back to the States to finish Forever Amber.
Gentlemen, in view of your achievements, I have these medals, presidential citations. These presidential citations arrived from Alabama only this morning.
From Alabama?
Yes, Alabama, gentlemen. A toast to Jefferson Davis. All right, men, dismiss.
All right, men, come and get it. You spaniels.
Hello, are you the chef?
Well, I don't always sift flour through my mustache.
Boys?
Before you eat, how about a drink?
A drink?
Yes, I'll mix up one of my specialties, a Knob Hill cocktail.
A Knob Hill cocktail. Is it strong?
Strong. One drink and your knob goes over the hill.
Hey, now I've got a surprise for you, men. When you eat your plum pudding, one of the portions will have a beautiful 10-carat diamond ring in it.
Gee, I hope I'm the lucky guy.
Wait a minute. The cook made the pudding, and he'll take the portion with the ring for himself.
Oh, nonsense, Hope. I'm an honest man. I wouldn't stoop to such low tactics just for a little old 10-carat diamond ring.
Well, let's start eating and see who the lucky man is.
Quite a bit of flu going around, isn't it?
I ran a of orphans at last, and in the world that I didn't know about you. Chasing after the rain on the merry-go-round, just taking my son where it could be found, and yet what else could I do? I didn't know about you. Darling, now I know I had the loneliest yesterday. Every day in your arms, I know for once in my life I'm living. Had a good time every time I went out. Romance was a thing I kidded about, but how could I know about love? I didn't know about you. Darling, now I know I had the loneliest yesterday. In your arms, I know for once in my life I'm living. Had a good time every time I went out. Romance was a thing I kidded about. How could I know about love? I didn't know about you.
Oh, thanks for the memory. Okay. Thank you very much, Wayne Morris, for being with us tonight. And all you people. Here, thanks for the memory of a swell visit in one of America's favorite and one of our favorite cities.
This is the Armed Forces Radio Service.
I'd rather have a Raleigh.
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 Because Raleigh is the only cigarette that gives you all three. From Hollywood, the Raleigh Cigarette Program, starring Red Skelton. With Gigi Pearson, Verna Felton, Pat McGee, and our tiny singer Anita Ellis, our guest Wonderful Smith, David Forrester and his orchestra, and yours truly, Rod O'Connor. It's a pleasure to bring you Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's popular comedian and the star of the Raleigh cigarette program, Red Skelton.
Really happy. Thank you very much, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Say, Rod, did you hear me on Dinah Schroeder's program? Dinah was really swell to me. She gave me some bird's eye frozen food, but I can't find any place to cook it.
Well, Red, don't tell me you haven't found a place to live yet.
Well, I'm spending my time between the Beverly Wilshire Hotel and the Wilshire Palms.
Really?
Yeah, a nice vacant lot between the two. I'm living in a tree now.
Well, isn't it cold?
Cold? It's freezing. Last night I opened my suitcase and my shorts were wearing my long underwear. My clothes were frozen stiff. I fell out of the tree in the middle of the night and broke my pajamas.
Why, you're kidding, Red. No, the other day you told me you'd found a room.
Yeah, that's true. I was living the life of Raleigh.
You mean Riley?
No, I know the side my sponsor's buttered on.
Well, tell me now, what other hotels did you stay at last week?
Well, let's see. I'll have to open my suitcase and get the towels out. I can't remember the name. One night I finally got a bed into the Biltmore, but they wouldn't give me a room to put it in. Oh, Anita Ellis, does that invitation to stay with your folks still hold good?
Well, what happened to that room you had at the YWCA?
Well,
Oh, come on now. Don't tell me that Skelton stayed at the YWCA.
Yes, and I loaned him one of my dresses.
Well, you could at least have worn slacks.
Oh, I wouldn't have looked like a woman if I wore slacks. I'm not fat enough.
Well, how long did it take him to get wise to you?
Until my 5 o'clock shadow turned into an 8 o'clock shade. I was the only girl at the YWCA with red whiskers. Say, you know, I hear that the landlords are sending a lobby back to Washington, and 18 congressmen are already sleeping in it.
I guess the housing shortage is the biggest problem of the day.
Yeah, I wish I knew what to do about it.
A car a day given away.
Say, why didn't I think of that before? For 2 Raleigh wrappers, you can get a house on wheels.
Well, no, Red. Most people will use them for driving. Think of it. 7 brand new 1946 Chevrolets given away every week by the makers of Raleigh cigarettes. Nothing like this has ever been done before. And it's so easy to win. We have another winner to announce right now, and she won just as you can win.
Simply complete this sentence in 25 additional words or less. We should all buy victory bonds because. Send your entries to Raleigh Cigarettes, Box 1200, Chicago, Illinois, together with 2 complete wrappers from 2 packs of Raleighs.
Isn't that wonderful? A man buys his girl a couple of packs of Raleighs one day, and the next day he's learning to drive with one hand.
Well, remember, you know, there's a new contest every day, so you have plenty of chances to win. And think of the prize. A magnificent new Chevrolet. See them at your local dealers. They're beauties. Modern, streamlined, deluxe. And what a thrill when you slip into the driver's seat. A shiny new car, all yours. Get started on your prize-winning sentence tonight. And now, another winner.
Winner of December 15th, Mrs. Ronald E. Colbeck of Portland, Oregon. Congratulations.
Okay, Mrs. Colbeck, you can give Junior his scooter back now.
And we'll announce more winners before we leave the air tonight.
And remember, Raleighs are the only cigarette that gives you all 3. Throat protection, better taste, lasting freshness.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Say, Anita, did I tell you how lovely you look tonight? You always look like you just stepped out of Vogue.
Why, thank you, Mr. Skelton. You look a little out of vogue yourself. Do you like my dress?
Yes, very much, very much.
How do you like my open-toed shoes?
Is that what they are? I didn't know if your toes were creeping or your shoes were backing up. Well, if David Forrester will lower the baton, we'll hear Anita Ellis sing, "It's Been a Long, Long Time."
Kiss me once and kiss me twice, kiss me once again. It's been a long, long time. Haven't felt like this, my dear, since can't remember when. It's been a long, long time. You'll never know how many dreams I dreamed about you. Or just how empty they all seem without you. So kiss me once, kiss me twice, kiss me once again. It's been a long, long time. Kiss me twice, kiss me once again. It's been a long, long time. Can't remember this, my dear, since can't remember when. It's been a long, long, long time. You'll never know how many dreams I dreamed about you, or just how empty they all seem without you. So kiss me once, kiss me twice, kiss me once again. It's been a long, long time.
Thank you very much, Anita. And now we open the pages of our Skelton scrapbook of satire, and we find Chapter 20, the story that deals with the topic of the day entitled The Housing Shortage. The characters are fictional. If they resemble any people living, them I gotta see. If Stephen Foster could have foreseen the housing shortage of today, his lyrics might have gone something like this. The sun shines bright in my old Kentucky home. 'Tis summer and the old folks are gay. The young folks roll on the little cabin floor, trying to trip the man from the old PA. Chapter 21. Once upon a time there was a detective named Willie Lump Lump. He solved everything but his own housing problem.
Howdy, Chief. How's the world's greatest detective?
Oh, shut up. I'm trying to solve a very tough case. It's a missing identity.
Willie, you'd better
Who am I, huh?
Willie, you'd better go home and turn in.
Home, he says, home. A chair and a mattress in the alley back of the Palladium. You call that home? Don't make me laugh.
Well, don't tell me you're homeless again.
Again, I ain't had a good home since Pete's pool room burned down. I'll never forget old Pete. Boy, the way he used to tuck me in the sawdust every night.
Well, I guess you'll wind up sleeping in the doghouse.
No, I tried that once, you know. My dog said to me, he says, I know a doghouse you can rent. See? So we go down to the place, but the dog in charge wouldn't rent any dog that had people. He said I wasn't a desirable lieutenant anyway. He talks so loud I couldn't hear himself bark. Say, I'm expecting a real estate man named Wonderful Smith. If he comes, tell him I'll be right back. I'm going over to Joe McGregor's pool room and write some letters.
Well, why don't you go to the post office?
There's no kick in the ink. Come here.
Greetings, Chief Lump Lump. Greetings.
Greetings again? I just got out. Say, you're a wonderful smith from a real estate office. What do you find, huh?
Oh, there's good news tonight. I have found you somewhat of a private room. Only 13 in a bed. Bed, that is.
13 in a bed? I can't sleep 13 in a bed.
What's the matter? Superstitious?
No, I just don't like the wear and tear on my hot water bottle. Can you imagine 26 cold feet in the middle of my back? Besides, I can't sleep with strangers.
Oh, but hear me out. Hear me out. For $3 extra, they'll give you a personal introduction to the other guests.
Well, I'm not interested.
Please hear me out. Let me see now what else I got on my list. Oh, yes, here's a house, but it's haunted.
Haunted? What's that?
Haunted house? Well, that's the house where people used to live, but it's still living.
That ain't what it says here, but you got out of it. I don't think I'd be interested, you know. I don't like anybody I can see through. I couldn't sleep, you know.
Ah, but you'd sleep so well you'd hope you'd never wake up. And they don't guarantee you will.
Well, I'm not interested.
But hear me out. Please hear me out.
I'm hearing.
I'm out.
Well, look, I gave you $30, and you ought to be able to find me a nice apartment with maid service for that, you know.
This boy has been away too long. Well, I'll keep looking. And if you want me in the meantime, I can be reached in room 334,972,722.
You work with field artillery, were you? Hey, what kind of a hotel is that with that many rooms?
Who said anything about a hotel? That's the number of a boxcar down at the railroad yard. Well, goodbye, gentlemen.
Well, I got that off my mind. I guess I better get back to my detective work. Look at all these fingerprints all over the floor. I must have come in upside down again last night.
I'll answer it. You wouldn't know what they're talking about.
Oh, yes, I would.
Oh, no, you wouldn't.
Oh, yes, I would.
Well, then you would.
Oh, no, I would. Hello, Raleigh Police Station, Tobacco Road Precinct. We never sleep. We can't find a room. We're kind of tired, too.
Who am I speaking to?
No, I don't know. I haven't been myself all day, you know. What can I do for you?
I need protection. I have a strange feeling I'm going to be shot.
What gives you a strange feeling like that? Huh?
This woman standing in front of me with a dirty look and a gun.
Well, wait, I'll be right over. Where do you live?
At the Broken Arms, Apartment 6.
Broken
It's on
Arms.
Sepulveda Boulevard.
Sepulveda. How do you spell Sepulveda?
S-E-P-U.
Oh, what a shame. If he'd have lived on Vine Street, we could have saved him. Hey, O'Connor, there's been a murder. Let's go. Willie the Lump Lump, the human bloodhound, is on the trail.
Okay, let's go. Here's your hat and leash.
Right down these stairs here. Right down here. I'm getting the bins.
Hello, what could I do for you, please? I am the landlady, Mrs. Conrad Bagel.
Well, I could have sworn you were Mrs. Beebe Eyes. I I'm Detective Willie Lump. I gotta ask you a few questions. You're the landlady. How old are you?
Will I have 15 cents of one milk?
Really? Mighty hard winters you put in. This place where the murdered man lived, was it expensive?
$50 a month.
Yeah, the light and gas furnished, are they?
Yes, but what's that got to do with the murdered man?
Who cares? You don't think I'd come over to see an old dead body, do you? How about renting me that apartment? How about it?
Are you kidding? I hung the for rent sign out when I heard the shot.
Yeah?
And the place was rented before he hit the floor.
And now the next page of the Skelton scrapbook, it's, someone give me an autograph here. Look.
Red, that's the name of another winner of a brand new Chevrolet. And before you read it, folks, here's how you can win a magnificent new Chevrolet. It's so easy because there are so many prizes. A car a day given away, 7 cars a week. Here's all you have to do.
Complete this sentence in 25 words or less. We should all buy victory bonds because...
Send your entries to Raleigh Cigarettes, Box 1200, Chicago, Illinois, together with 2 complete wrappers from 2 packs of Raleighs. You have plenty of chances to win because there's a new contest every day. Yes, winners chosen from entries received each day.
Entries judged on uniqueness, originality, and most convincing statement. Judge's decision final. Duplicate prizes in case of ties. Entries become the property of Raleigh Cigarettes. Contest limited to the United States and members of the armed forces abroad.
Now get busy. You can win just as this winner of December 14th. Yes, another winner. Go on, Red, tell him.
I won't tell him. I'm going to keep it a secret.
Oh, go on, tell him, Red.
Okay, Mrs. Helen M. Jackson of Cleveland, Ohio, you did it. You just won a brand new Chevrolet, and congratulations.
More winners announced on the Raleigh Room starring Hildegard tomorrow night.
And now back to John's other fishwife. Chapter 23 in the Skelton scrapbook is a picture of Oklahoma. The musical artist is David Forrester. If this were television and you could see his picture of daybreak, undoubtedly you would say, "Oh, what a beautiful morning." Chapter 25 in our scrapbook is entitled Room for Rent. No Children Allowed. Do you have a tenant that you would like to have moved? If so, call a certain grandmother who is related to the mean widow Ken. Must you stop like that?
There you are, folks, the Bedlam Hotel.
Thank you. You're a very careful driver.
No, I didn't think he was so good. I saw 12 pedestrians, and he didn't get a one of them. How much is the fare? How much is the
Now,
fare?
Junior, where did you get money?
You know me piggy bank?
Yes.
I barbecued it. Here, I will pay it. I will pay it.
I'll pay it, Junior.
No, Emma. A gentleman always pays. Me mummy says anyone who would allow a lady to pay a bill is a bum. Now, how much is it?
$5.80.
$5.80? You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Making a bum out of a widow gentleman.
Here's the fare, driver.
Yeah.
Junior, you can pay me back out of your allowance a nickel a week.
A nickel a week? Is that a living wage? Goodness, you may not know it, Grandma, but the cost of jelly beans is zooming upwards, you know. I'm going to need more money, you know.
Oh, my, isn't this a pleasant hotel? Look, there's a stained glass window.
Well, don't look at me. I didn't do that. Goodness, I never see stained glass windows before. Wonder what size bricks they'll take, huh?
Come on, Junior. Let's go see about our accommodation.
Yeah, we better see about rooms, too.
Junior, don't run.
You're going to have to put a few more links in me leash. I keep forgetting I don't reach too far, you know.
Good afternoon, and what can I do for you?
I'd like a small apartment.
That's fine. The line forms in Kansas City.
But we have a reservation.
Yes, we do.
Oh, that's
With
different.
Indians and
Oh, yes,
everything.
that's different. By the way, there's one thing I must remind you of, madame. I have no personal objections to children, but I do not like hide and seek in the lobby, sliding down the laundry chute, fishing in the goldfish bowl, or pouring ice water into the telephone bell.
Would you mind repeating that last one again?
Pouring ice water into the telephone bell.
Oh, that's a good one, isn't it? Oh, boy, I had to put that down in me widow repertoire, boy.
All right, madame, I'll let you have a room. Now, will you sign the register?
Yeah, read it first. Don't trust these people, you know. You may be signing your life away, you know.
Thank heaven
don't
for
look
that
very-
5-day OPA ruling. I do hope I'll be able to survive.
Front boy! Yes, sir.
Take this lady and the little boy to room 1209.
But what little boy?
Goodness, where did he go?
Hey, Nemo, look at me. Hey, kiddo.
Junior, get off of there. Don't slide down the banister.
Good heavens, he broke that Ming vase.
I didn't mean to break it.
Don't cry.
It was an accident.
Bless his little heart.
Bless me with a heart.
But my Ming vase.
I didn't mean to break your Bing Bay.
Not Bing, Ming.
Bing, Bing, what's the difference? It bang now, boy.
Get them out of the lobby.
This way, please. Where's your baggage?
Here it is. The one with the stickers on it's me Namos. And the widow bag is mine. The one with the skull and crossbones on it. Careful with it, though.
Okay. Great day. What have you got in it?
Oh, just a few essential tools of me trade, you know. Careful, the lid flies off. I told you to watch it. I told you.
Good heavens, Junior, what is all the rubbish? Slingshot, BB gun, scout knife, iron pipe. Junior, I'm surprised at you.
Stick around, kiddo. You get over that.
Here's the elevator, madam.
Okay. Well, now I'm in Grandma's asleep. I think I'll run up and down the hall to see what's cooking. That's what they do. Oh, listen, that guy snores. He must be dreaming he's a dive bomber. I can open the door. Oh, look at that. I'm going to twist his nose.
Hey, let go of my nose.
Yeah, I'll let go of your nose.
What are you doing in my room?
Well, I'm sorry, but you were snoring so loud, I thought I'd turn off your buzzer there.
A fine thing. Run along to wherever you belong.
No, not me. I don't like reform schools. Not me. Hey, are you sick?
No, why?
Well, you got the same kind of bottle of medicine that my grandpa takes.
Medicine?
Sure, there. You see your doctor's name on the bottle, too. Dr. Boyben.
Oh, no. Don't touch that.
Oh, look, I filled it all over the floor. Where did the little flowers go? Where did they go? They were there, now they're gone.
Come here, son. I want to talk to you. Come here.
Ah, knock it off. I see that shoe in your hand, and it ain't my size.
Junior?
Oh, they're closing in on me.
I heard something break, so I figured you'd be in here. Shame on you for disturbing this nice man. I expect he was a bit of a bother.
Isn't she sweet the way she puts it?
If you don't get him out of here, I'll do something desperate. Why bother to knock? Come in.
Oh, just as I thought. That atomic bomb with legs again. My, what a refreshing breeze.
Intoxicating, isn't it?
Look, are you the manager?
Yes.
I'm checking out. I wouldn't stay in this joint another second, even if it was raining and sleeting, and I had to sleep on a park bench.
Mr. Twinkie, it's against the 5-day ruling, but if you'll overlook this incident, you can stay another day free of charge.
Ain't it exciting, huh?
I wouldn't stay here if it was a matter of life and death, and personally, I think it is. Goodbye.
I'm truly sorry, and I hope Junior hasn't been too much bother.
Oh, not at all, not at all.
But if you don't lock him up...
Yes, Junior, he's gone again. Junior, what have you done now?
Oh, he frightened me half to death. I caught him peeking in the keyhole.
Junior, why did you peek in the keyhole?
Because I'm not tall enough to look over the transom.
Junior, it's wicked to peek in a keyhole.
Well, it's their fault. They shouldn't expose me to temptation. Why do they build keyholes at eye level?
Well, I'm checking out.
Oh, but Miss Evans, you're supposed to be ill.
Well, I was only pretending so I could have a place to live. But this isn't living, and I'm checking out.
I can't stand this much longer. Little boy, did you ever think of being good?
Yes, I did, but I wasn't interested in it.
Junior, I've stood enough. That last remark did it.
Oh, you hit me. You broke me neck. You knocked me neck out of place. You knocked me neck.
There, I put it back again.
Well, why did you leave it alone in the first place?
Madame, I'd like to speak to you.
Never mind, we'll pack and leave.
But why?
Because you hate me.
Oh, no, I don't hate you. I love you. Why, with you here, my life would be a pleasure.
Oh, now, don't be sarcastic.
I'm not. You see, before you came, people were griping about having to move. But now it's a pleasure. Happy day.
Oh, come on, let's move out of
Why?
here, Grandma. Because I like all the little kids. Once I have no restrictions, it takes all the pleasures out of me activities, you know.
And remember, we'll all be with you on every Tuesday night at this same time. Red Skelton, David Forrester, and his orchestra, Nita Ellis, Verna Felton, Gigi Pearson, Pat McGee, and our guest, Wonderful Smith, and yours truly, Rod O'Connor. Until next Tuesday, then.
This is Red Skelton saying, please don't travel unless you have to, so the boys can come home. And thanks for listening.
And remember, listen to Hildegard tomorrow night, and The People Are Funny without Linkletter Friday night over most of these stations. Red Skelton is heard in this program through the courtesy of Metro Goldwyn Mayer.
Sir Walter Raleigh. That's the tobacco that leaves your pipe as clean as a whistle. It's carefully blended from rich, ripe burleys and mellowed with just a touch of rum to balance the natural, full-bodied flavor. Get Sir Walter Raleigh, the quality pipe tobacco of America.
Red Skelton is brought to you by the Brown and Williamson Tobacco Corporation.
Broadcasting Company.
Now, Roma Wines, R-O-M-A, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world. Roma Wines present Suspense. Tonight, Roma Wines bring you Mr. Keenan Wynn and Mr. Hume Cronin as stars of Double Entry, a suspense play produced, edited, and directed for Roma Wines by William Spear. Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills, is presented for your enjoyment by Roma Wines. That's R-O-M-A, Roma Wines. Those excellent California wines that can add so much pleasantness to the way you live. to your happiness in entertaining guests, to your enjoyment of everyday meals. Yes, right now a glassful would be very pleasant, as Roma Wines bring you two of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's deftest comedy players, Keenan Wynn, who is currently being seen in What Next, Corporal Hargrove, and Hume Cronin, soon to be seen in Letters for Edie.
Mr. Wynn appears as Eddie, and Mr. Cronin as Sam, his bosom friend, in Double Entry, a tale of nefarious doings in the world of big money, of larceny and embezzlement, of fraud and friendship. Altogether, a most remarkable tale of suspense.
Yeah. It always balances in the double entry system. If it don't, you hang around till it does. That's what I've been doing all my life, keeping books. Oh, it's fascinating. Positively fascinating. You know, I'll bet in my day I've written billions of figures. Hundreds of billions. And cash? Say, I've handled so much cash my fingertips are calloused. Once I even got water on a thumb from licking it to count money. But so what? What's cash? Handling cash is just the same as adding figures. A job. Then, one day, something happens that makes you look on things different. There's no excitement in an office. No danger. No heroism, no adventure. Not much chance to risk anything, to do something for a pal. Behind an adding machine, you can't tell men from mice without a scorecard. So, if a guy gets in a jam, and he gets a chance to do a favor to help a pal out who is in a jam, well, maybe you look on cash a little different. All of a sudden, cash is more than pieces of metal and bits of green paper. It's socially significant. That's what it is.
Eddie, hand me the Dixie cup, will you?
Yeah. Your ulcer's bothering you again, Sam?
Yeah, bad. These ledgers are driving me nuts.
You got the wrong temperament for an account. You shouldn't let it get you down.
Things can't go on like this, Eddie.
Huh. Hey, what's the matter? Alice? Alice don't understand you.
No, Alice don't understand me.
Well, that's because you don't understand her.
Will you shut up? Sometimes you're so smug.
Oh, now lay off, Sam. You can't go on like this.
Like what?
Well, you're grouchy all the time. You got something on your mind. Alice don't understand. Well, try me out. I won't throw no dishes at you.
Well, no. No, I can't tell you. Wouldn't matter anyway. You can't do anything.
Just telling your troubles helps sometime. Go on, talk, Sam. Talk, Sam.
Okay. Okay, it's the auditors.
But them guys? Don't let them worry you. You're running this office, ain't you? You tell them, don't let them tell you.
I'm telling you, Eddie, they're getting awful close.
What are you talking about?
They're driving me nuts.
Well, why, Sam?
I'm light, Eddie.
You mean?
The books. They're light. They're short.
You mean?
I'm a crook, Eddie. An embezzler. And they're going to get me. Those auditors, they're on to me. I know they are. I can feel them getting closer. Now, after 9 years, they're on my trail.
You a crook, Sam? I don't believe it.
I wish I was dreaming.
Why, Sam, you're the fair-haired boy around here. All you got to do is ask.
Ask who? Bartholomew? That tight-fisted...
It's Alice. She's to blame, I know. She wasn't satisfied with your salary. She wanted ermine capes, diamonds, a box at the opera. Oh, I know. She drove you to it. 9 years. Hey, how much did you take in all that time?
$100,000.11. Where am I going to get that kind of money?
I can dig up the 11 cents.
Wisecracks. That's all you're good for. Jail staring me in the face.
Yeah, that's why you're so nervous.
That's where my ulcers come from.
Every night, working late. Covering up.
Sweating, worrying. Thinking of suicide.
9 years ago. Well, she made you do it, Sam.
That's right. I told her I was playing the market, and I was.
Yeah, but the stock's dropped.
Out of sight.
So you bought more.
And more.
And then? Yes, Mr. Bartholomew?
My master's voice.
Yeah, Bartholomew wants to see you. Well, wag your tail, Fido.
Wag it. Can't even drag it. Say, didn't I see the auditors go in there a minute ago?
Yeah. Come to think of it, they did, Sam.
Well, this is it, kid.
Oh, maybe it's not, Sam.
I got a feeling. I'm not scared, Eddie. It's a relief. I'll sleep nights now. Maybe my ulcer will clear up.
100 grand. I wonder what he did with the 11 cents. Sales tax, I guess. What a chump.
Your name, Eddie?
Well, yeah, what about it?
What about it? Flint sent me. I'm Fink Martin. Flint said to drop in and see if you want to place a bet today.
Flint who?
Now, what do you mean, Flint who? Mike Flint. Ain't your name Eddie?
Well, sure, but I never heard of Mike Flint. You got the wrong Eddie. My name's Sullivan.
Oh, well, he didn't tell me no last name. How should I know? He says to look up Eddie at 411 Irving Trust Building.
Oh, well, this is 511.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Yeah. Hey, wait a minute.
Huh?
You say you take bets on horses?
I'll take a bet on a camel if he's running a tropical.
Are you a bookie?
Well, I ain't no taxidermist, pal.
Yeah. Hey, I may be the right Eddie after all. Got any odds?
Well, if you're on the level, Eddie...
When you're in the business, do I look like a stool pigeon?
Okay, Eddie, I guess you're okay. Odds? You want odds, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Now, at Tropical Park, I can give you 10-1 in the first race. Horse called Aleppo. Finished last in a field of 9. That was his only other start.
Let's see the form.
You see, odds is okay if you don't bet too heavy. You play odds like a side bet, Eddie. The thing to play is the jockey, not the horse. You take Sylvester. Here's the jockey. 1-3 yesterday, 2 on Monday, 1 on Sunday. Oh, he's hot. He can ride any dog into the money.
Does he ride a long shot today?
No. Today he's got 2 favorites and 4 short odds nags. He'll win 2 races today.
Oh, here's a 100-to-1 shot. Altruism,
huh? I never heard of him.
I got a hunch.
Well, play it. Always play hunches. Yeah, let's see what this altruism is. Never raced before.
Well, and how do you know he's no good?
Well, I don't, but look who he's running against. War Alarm, unbeaten in 3 starts. Test Tube, last year's Gold Cup runner-up. File Clerk. Hey, there's a hunch for you, Eddie. File Clerk.
I ain't no file clerk, and I'm playing altruism.
Okay, Eddie. Just give me $2.
Is that all I can bet?
Well, no, but, gee, I don't want to play you for a sucker.
How about $1,000?
Oh, why don't you tie that bull to a fence?
Will you take $1,000 on altruism?
Where would you get $1,000?
From the old man.
On the level, Eddie?
Oh, sure.
Well, I have to get Flint's okay. You let me use your phone?
Yeah.
See, $1,000. Oh, that's not stage money, Eddie.
Well, neither is 100 grand. Could you pay off?
Oh, Flint will cover any bet that I want to make. Hello? Give me Flint. This Flint is a smart cookie.
Yeah?
Maybe he don't want to let... Wait a minute. Hello, Mike? This is Fink. Yeah. Look, a man's got $1,000 he wants to put on a nag called Altruism in the 3rd at Tropical. The odds are 100-to-1. How about it? Yeah, but if he wins, Mike. Well, sure I'm a gambler, but 100... Hung up. Funny guy, this Flint. Am I a gambler, he says. Okay, Eddie, we'll play $1,000 on Altruism's nose for you.
You will?
What's the matter, getting cold feet?
Well, no, Martin, I just meant, listen, that's a lot of dough to hand over to someone you never seen before.
Well, I never saw you before either, mister.
Yeah, but what chance are you taking?
Now, quit stalling. Are you betting or not?
Oh, okay. Wait till I get the money. Here it is.
You got it?
100, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 makes 1,000.
Thanks, Eddie. What's the matter? What you shaking for? Is this your life savings or something?
Oh, no. There's lots more where this come from.
Of course. The old man has a wad of it behind his ear.
Yeah, that's it, Fink. Hey, you're a card. Hey, what are you rubbing them bills on that sheet of white paper for?
Well, if the green don't come off, the bill is no good.
No good?
Counterfeit. Here, look at this. A phony. You better tell your old man to give you another one.
Is this counterfeit?
Certainly. Look at General Grant there. His nose shouldn't happen to Jimmy Durante.
Yeah, well, wait a minute, Fink.
Oh, what a setup. Just like that. Give me $1,000, Pop. I got a hunch my ship is coming in at Miami this afternoon. Oh, what a setup.
Here, Fink.
Yeah, thanks, Eddie. That's more like it. You tell your old man to pass that phony C note in church. Yeah, well, here's my card, and here's your ticket. Now, you hang on to that. Might be worth $100,000.
Okay, Martin.
Hey. Are you all right? You look kind of green.
Oh, you just been looking at too much dough, Martin.
Well, maybe. Okay, you drop around this afternoon, about 3. Your dog is running then. Mm-hmm. And, just call me Fink.
Well, so long, Fink.
So long, Eddie.
Hello?
Sullivan, this is Mr. Bartholomew.
Yes, sir.
Speak up.
Yes, sir.
That's better, Sullivan. Sullivan, I want you to send a nice new $100 bill to St. Paul's Church in Scarsdale. A Christmas gift. Put it in a plain envelope and write Joyox Noel on it. Wrap it in a piece of paper so no one will know what it is at the post office. I want to send a nice little anonymous gift as a surprise. Nice, crisp $100 bill.
Oh, I know just the one, Mr. Bartholomew.
What's that?
Yes, sir. Hey, Eddie. Eddie, it's okay. I got by.
What?
I'm clear. The auditors missed it. Hey, what's the matter? Aren't you glad?
You mean you ain't going to jail?
Not this year.
Are you sure, Sam?
Positive. The auditors are through. Not a chance of getting caught.
Not a chance,
Not
Sam?
a chance, Eddie.
Well, there could be a slip-up.
No, there couldn't. What's the matter with you? Say, aren't you glad?
Oh, sure. Look, I'm doing handsprings.
Boy, oh, boy. Of course, it doesn't solve things completely.
Yeah, you said it.
I'm still short. But that's okay.
Oh, sure.
I'll think of something. I got a whole year.
Well, I'm very glad.
I don't get it, though. Bartholomew buttering me up. He says, we know everything's in good shape, Sam. No use putting those auditors to any more trouble. Just have them check the cash, and that'll wind it up.
The cash? Sam, will you hand me that Dixie cup by the typewriter?
Sure. You dry?
Very.
Say, what's on your mind?
Just 2 or 3 years, that's all.
Now I suppose you're going to tell me that you've been swiping postage stamps.
Oh, no, nothing as bad as that. Look, I'm your pal, Sam.
Sure.
I'd do anything for you.
I know, Eddie. Then talk sense.
Well, I hated to think of you in Sing Sing for 6 months, Sam, so I'm going there myself for a few years.
What are you saying?
I swiped $1,000 and bet it on 100-to-1 shot at Tropical Park, Sam.
You swiped? Oh, no. Oh, no. No! Eddie, you're kidding me.
Well, I did it for you, Sam. A guy don't get a chance to prove his friendship very often.
Friendship? You talk to me of friendship at a time like this? Oh, we might as well be in Sing Sing right now.
Yeah, me the longest.
I hope so, of all the dumb tricks. Didn't make any entries, I suppose.
Nope. I just took it.
How'd you come to bet on a horse? What bookies do you know?
Here's his card. He just happened in by accident.
A 10-ton truck should just happen in by accident and run over you.
Well, maybe he'd give it back, Sam.
Oh, sure. Sure, bookies are that way. Philanthropists, all of them. Probably no such address as this.
Now, don't be hard on me, will you, Sam? After all, I risked my own neck to save yours.
No greater love.
Maybe this horse will win.
Yeah, maybe Alf Landon will, too.
Well...
Oh, shut up. Take an entry in the books. Then we'll pay Mr. Fink Martin a call. Friendship.
Yeah, friendship. Well, we're in this together, pal.
For Suspense, Roma Wines are bringing you as stars Keenan Wynn and Hume Cronin in Double Entry by Robert Minton. Roma Wines' presentation tonight in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
box of Suspense, this is Truman Bradley for Roma Wines. One of life's most embarrassing moments is to be caught with nothing in the house when guests drop in, especially during the Christmas season. That's why smart hostesses make sure of gracious hospitality by keeping delicious Roma California port on hand all the time. Yes, Roma port adds true warmth to any welcome. So pleasureful, too, at the end of a meal. Enjoy Roma port often, with its glowing ruby brilliance, fine fruity fragrance, and rich nectar-like natural sweetness. Like all Roma wine, Roma port is a true wine, crushed from choice grapes, grown in California's finest vineyards. Then, unhurriedly, guided to glorious perfection by Roma's age-old winemaking skill, bottled at Roma's famed winery. Get Roma port tomorrow and enjoy Roma's delightful taste luxury. Insist on Roma, R-O-M-A, for uniformly fine quality at low cost. Discover why more Americans enjoy Roma than any other wine.
And now Roma Wines bring back to our Hollywood soundstage Keenan Wynn as Eddie and Hume Cronin as Sam, partners in crime in Double Entry, a play well calculated to keep you in suspense.
On the subway up to the bookie's place, I didn't say a word. I just stared at the ads, and I kept thinking of how I'd messed things up and wondered what Sam was thinking. The window we sat near had bars on it, and I felt like I was already in jail. Well, we got there. It was a great big large room.
Well, if it ain't the millionaire bookkeeper. Hi, Eddie.
Hi there, Pink.
Welcome to our humble joint. Of course, it ain't like Hialeah,
But it's as close as we can get to it in New York. Yeah, I know.
Oh, this is Sam Crockett, Pink, and my boss.
Oh, glad to meet you, Mr. Crockett. Smart man you got working for you. He's going to make himself a pile of dough this afternoon, ain't you, Eddie?
Look, Martin. This is all a mistake. Eddie had no business betting $1,000 on a horse. The fact is, it wasn't his money.
Oh, I know that. It was his old man's.
He stole it from the company.
Now, Eddie, would you do a thing like that?
Uh-huh.
Well, I am surprised. I thought your old man ran the place.
He was trying to help someone, so...
So he helped himself to $1,000, huh?
Martin, give us a break and return the money. We'll both go to jail if we don't put it back.
At Tropical Park in the 6th, scratch Doughboy, number 624.
Gee, I'm sorry, fellas, but I can't do nothing about it. I've turned in the dough already. I just work here. I can't get it back.
You gotta help us, Martin.
Well, I'd like to, Crockett, but, gee, how can I? Look, this is a business. Supposing I ask the boss. He says it's a contract. He can't back out, neither can you. Where would we be if we asked you to take your money back?
Yeah, but don't you see we'll go to Sing Sing
One
Pink?
minute to post time for the 3rd at Tropical Place. You bet
Look,
not, boys.
maybe those bills were counterfeit, huh? You know, you can tell the cashier the dough's no good, huh?
Oh, how can I, Eddie? He can spot a phony from 50 yards.
The auditors are checking our books now, Martin.
Well, all I can say is I'm sorry, and, well, I hope this nag wins for you, but I can't do a thing about it.
You're sunk, Eddie.
You sounded like you meant it, huh?
Well, so what? Let's go.
Well, ain't you interested in hearing the race over the loudspeaker?
No.
Well, I am. It's me that started this whole thing, and I'm going to get my money's worth.
In the 3rd, a correction. Sylvester is riding altruism.
Hey, did you hear that, Sam?
You mean we got a jockey?
Oh, now, don't be funny. This guy Sylvester's hot. He's winning 2 or 3 races a day.
Tropical in the 3rd, they're away at 3:17.
Hey, they're off.
I got ears.
Yeah.
At the quarter, it's a Wallalon by a head. The dive bomber is 2nd. Calumet Palace 3rd by a half a length. Dunnin is 4th. The Westwood Ho is 5th. The File Clerk is 6th. And the Valiant Ned 7th. The Mashie Niblick is 8th. Timid Soul is 9th. Golden West is 10th. And Test Tube Auction Block Early Riser. And Altruism.
No wonder you got 100 to 1. There's 100 horses.
Yeah, that's not a race. It's a caravan.
Last place. Now, are you satisfied?
Okay, Sam, let's go. Man of War couldn't win in a crowd like that unless he cut across the infield.
Oh, you sure pick him.
Well, come on. What are you waiting for?
I'm not waiting. Hey, quit pushing me.
Am
I pushing you?
Valiant Net by a length. Wall Alarm is 2nd by 2. Test Tube is 3rd by a nose. Dive Bomber is fourth, and Dunning is fifth. Calumet Pal, Westwood Hole, File Clerk, Timid Soul, Golden West, Early Riser, Mashing Niblick, and Altruism. Auction Block has dropped out.
That nag has taken the pause that refreshes.
Well, he's come up.
If enough drop out, he can win.
Yeah, the race had happened the last 2 days, huh?
Why didn't they run it in heats?
Well, might as well hang around till the end, huh, Sam?
Oh, well, I guess so.
It's Valiant Ned still leading by a length. Test Tube is second by a nose. Wallamarm is third. And coming up on the outside is Altruism.
Hey, did he say altruism?
He said it. Get the results.
Hey, Porky, how about the finish?
Coming over the wire.
Oh, Sylvester, ride, boy, ride!
Don't wring your hands. It's too late to pray. The race is over.
Yeah, well, who won?
I know who won. The wire's always a minute behind.
We've got a chance.
Too close for comfort. Oh, why did Flint let me take that bet?
The winner of the third at Tropical Park is, Altruism.
Oh, how do you like that?
He won.
Am I a chump now?
Oh, you're a champ, Eddie, a champ.
Oh, it was nothing, Sam.
Only a sap could do it.
Oh, thanks.
Holy smoke, this does it.
Oh, Fink, I almost forgot. You got a fork over.
Oh, that just about bust this joint. Hey, how about calling it off?
Remember what you said about contracts?
Yeah, but gee, if I'd have known they were switching Sylvester onto that dog.
When do we get paid off?
Right now, Crockett. Come on over to the cashier.
Cash? We have to take cash?
Oh, absolutely. We ain't got no bank account. First thing you know, we'd have to pay income tax.
Well, you can deduct this loss.
Yeah. All right, give me your ticket.
Here.
Here's a cashier at this window. 100 grand, Speed.
Hey, the cashier don't bat an eye. I'm gonna...
Hey, the cops! Now I'm on the
The cops jugged everyone in the place, thinking the other gamblers got away with the 100 grand. And we had to wait until morning for a trial. Every silver lining has a rip in it.
I don't see how they got away. I'm sore. We sit here in the can, and they're off with all that dough.
Well, we were framed. This whole thing was planned.
You're crazy. How did Martin know Altruism would win? Can't turn on a police raid like a shower bath.
Well, how are we ever going to find those guys?
We won't. And if we do, it won't do us any good because you haven't got the ticket anymore. Even if you have, you couldn't force them to pay. Gambling isn't legal, you know.
Oh, that's nice, dreary music.
Might as well get used to it. We'll be living in quarters like this for quite some time.
Hey, here comes the keeper.
You got a visitor, boys.
Huh? An auditor.
Name of Martin. Think Martin.
Hiya, boy.
Well, you coming to pay us off?
Well, not exactly, no. You see, Mike, the boss, he don't want to pay.
Oh, you wouldn't chisel, Fink. Oh, no.
On the level. I thought this guy Flint was square. Now he's welching on all his debts, and he's blowing town. He's got a grand of mine.
Oh, that's a great story, Martin.
Well, I don't have to tell stories, do I? I could have stayed away from here, Crockett.
It's nice to see you again, Fink. Still taking bets?
All right. Will it shut you up, Eddie?
Hey, $1,000.
Yeah, $1,000. It's all I got. It's my own dough. Well, that's the best I can do, Eddie. Hey, guard, let me out of here.
Well, gee, I don't know what to say, Fink.
Say no to the next bookie you meet, Eddie. Them nags is poison.
Well, it was fun for a while, Fink. I wouldn't take your dough, but...
Say no more. Put it back where it came from, Sam, and try to forget you ever seen me.
So, there I was, back where I started, at scratch. All I had to do was put the dough back in the cash drawer. The next morning, after paying a $10 fine, we took the subway downtown. Sam read the paper, and I just stared at the ads as usual.
Quite a story about altruism. Picture Sylvester here, just a kid. 19, weighs 105.
Hey, look at that ad. It says, spell it backwards. If they want you to read it that way, why don't they turn it around?
Hey, Eddie. Eddie, look.
Well, what is it, Sam?
This picture. It's Bartholomew.
They've arrested him. Well, what for?
Embezzlement.
But that's you, Sam.
Listen to this. Mr. Bartholomew confessed to having embezzled company funds to the tune of $250,000 when auditors discovered a shortage in cash of $1,000. So that's why he was hurrying those guys around.
Well, let me see. What a business. Everyone in it is a crook. What? Hey, Sam, where you going?
Back to the police station. I'm giving myself up.
Giving yourself up? You're nuts.
No, Eddie. I'd never sleep again if I escaped scot-free. Besides, I'd like to get away from Alice for about 6 months.
Yeah, but Sam! So, Sam went to the police and gave himself up. But guess what? They didn't want him. They already had their man. He wrote out a confession. He offered to show it in the books, but they just laughed at him. Called him a publicity seeker. He pleaded with him, but it was no use. Even Bartholomew called him a fool. Imagine, Sam fought for the right to go to prison, and they laughed at him. Well, that's what happens when a bookkeeper tries to get out of the rut. There's no escape. Yeah. Sam would have preferred a few quiet months in Sing Sing, breaking rocks. Could have got rid of his ulcers. He would have got away from Alice. But no.
Hey, Eddie. Hand me that Dixie cup, will you?
Oh, your ulcers bothering you again, Sam?
Yeah, something awful. These ledgers are driving me nuts.
Suspense, presented by Roma Wines, R-O-M-A, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world. Before we hear again from Keenan Wynn and Hume Cronin, the stars of Double Entry, tonight's suspense play, this is Truman Bradley with a word to the men from famed hostess Elsa Maxwell. If you are a typical male who has put off Christmas shopping until the last possible minute, here's a life-saving suggestion. Delight your friends, complete your shopping in an hour, and know your gifts are in excellent taste. Give Roma wine. Yes, there are taste-tempting Roma wines for every occasion. For entertaining, choose Roma California Sherry, Port, Muscatel, or Tokay. For added mealtime pleasure, give Golden Roma California Sauterne or Red Burgundy. And if you want to say Merry Christmas in a grand style, say it with the continental smartness of Roma California Champagne or Sparkling Burgundy. Whether your gift of Roma wine is a bottle, several, or a case, you know when you give Roma, you give a true wine, unvaryingly good always. And Roma's low prices will surprise you pleasantly. So, for good living and good giving this Christmas, insist on Roma, R-O-M-A, Roma wine, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world.
This is Keenan Wynn.
And this is Hume Cronin.
Joining together to wish you a very Merry Christmas.
Next Thursday, same time, Roma Wines will bring you Miss Marcia Hunt as star of Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills.
Produced by William Spear for the Roma Wine Company of Fresno, California. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The Abbott and Costello program, starring Bud Abbott and Lou Costello, brought to you by Camel, the cigarette of costlier, properly aged tobaccos. The Abbott and Costello program, with the modern rhythm of Will Osborne's orchestra, Iris Adrian, our singing star Connie Haynes, and spotlighting that chunky, chubby little cherub who, when caught asking a neighbor lady to take her shoes off because his Uncle Artie Seven said she had crow's feet, calmly said, "I'm a bad boy."
Costello. Where have you been? Why weren't you here fixing up the house for the party tonight?
Oh, hey, Abbott, I had to get down to jail to get my landlady out. You know, Mrs. Sanctum Puss?
Yeah.
I had to get her out on bail.
What do you
She
mean?
got arrested for shoplifting. They finally caught her.
I thought she was too smart to get caught.
Well, she made a mistake. She stole an alarm clock and hid it in her bustle.
Well, how did they catch her?
Her bustle went off at 8:15.
Never mind your landlady. Did you send out the invitations for the party?
Oh, yeah. I got them right here. Look what it says.
What is it?
Lou Costello invites you to a Christmas party to be held in his home, B-A-P-O-B.
B-A-P-O-B?
Yep.
You mean RSVP.
Oh, no, I mean B-A-P-O-B. Bring a pound of butter. Oh, boy, what a party I'm going to have. My Aunt May will bring her cranberry sauce. That's her specialty. Aunt Catherine will bring her plum pudding. That's her specialty. And Aunt Eva will bring her 14 children. That's a nice family.
Yeah. Never mind your relatives. Look, forget about your relatives for a minute, Lou.
Yeah.
Did you remember to get souvenirs for everybody?
Oh, souvenirs.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm having favors for the girls. At 12 o'clock, I'm going to turn the lights off.
Oh, yeah. Any favors for the men?
What do you call turning the lights off?
Look, Costello, who did you invite besides your relatives?
Oh, a lot of movie stars. And I invited Lana Turner. And she kissed me.
Lana Turner kissed you?
The smoke isn't coming out of my ears for nothing.
Look, Costello, how about the tree? Did you get a tree? Did you get a tree?
Oh, did I get a tree? I got the biggest Christmas tree you ever saw.
Well,
I just got through putting it in the living room.
You did?
What a tree! It's 6 feet higher than the ceiling.
well, it's a shame to have to cut the top off.
That's the way I felt about it, too.
Oh, sure.
So I cut a hole in the ceiling.
You cut a hole in the ceiling of our living room?
Yeah, this will be the first Christmas we ever had a tree in our bathroom.
Look, Spencer, look. What kind of a tree did you get? Is it a fir?
Oh, yes, it's one of those... What did you say?
I said, did you get a fir?
No, I got a tree.
Oh, stop this silliness. I want to see your fur.
See my fur?
Certainly.
What am I, a silver fox?
No. I'm not talking about fur, F-U-R. The fur I mean has an eye in it.
Oh, the fur has an eye in it?
Yes.
Just one eye?
Certainly there's just one eye in fur.
Must be I, J. Fox.
No, look. Stand still when I'm talking to you.
Yes, sir.
I'm talking about a fir tree.
Mm-hmm.
Now, will you quit talking about the fur with you in it? You doesn't belong in the kind of fur I'm talking about.
I doesn't belong in that kind of fur?
Oh, yes, I belongs in it, but you doesn't.
Why should you belong in fur if I doesn't?
I happen to look better in fur than you do. I'm prettier than you. I'm cuter than you. You bad boy.
No remarks.
You bad boy.
Never mind. I'm trying to find out what kind of a Christmas tree you got. Look, wait a minute. Here, I've got it. What kind of bark did it have?
What kind of bark?
Yes. Didn't you notice the tree's bark?
No, I have my earmuffs on.
No. Bark.
Oh, bark.
Yes. No. Costello, the bark of the tree is the outer coat. Did the tree have a rough coat?
No, but the girl who sold it to me had on a smooth sweater.
No. And no time for singing, please. The bark is the coat.
Yeah.
You find it on the trunk of a fir tree.
A tree has a trunk?
Oh, of course.
That must be where he keeps his coat and fur.
No, Costello, I'm going to try to explain it to you. Now, all Christmas trees belong to the pine family.
Oh, no, they don't.
Oh,
This
yes.
Christmas tree belongs to me, brother.
No, wait a minute.
Let the Pine family get their own tree.
Forget the pine family, Costello. I don't think you know anything about trees.
Who don't?
You don't.
I do. I raise my own trees.
Did you see them yourself?
Did I see them?
Yes, I asked you, did you see your own trees?
Yes, I seed them every day. I seed them this morning. I seed them last night. You can come over and seed them anytime you want.
How can I seed them when you seeded them first?
Look, Abbott, what have I got in front of my house?
Trees.
Did you see them?
No.
Did I see them?
Yes.
In other words, you looked at my trees, but you didn't see them.
That's right.
Let me smell your breath.
I don't know why I spent time with you. I was trying to tell you about the pine tree. We get tar from pines.
We get what?
Tar. Haven't you ever heard of pine tar?
No, but I heard of a tree tar.
Tree tar?
Yeah, clang, 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 went the tree tar. Clang, 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 went the tree tar.
As the Christmas present to her camel fans, lovely Connie Haynes repeats the song she helped make so popular.
With my high stock collar and my high top shoes and my hair high up on my head, I went to lose a jolly hour upon the trolley and lost my heart instead. With his light brown derby and his bright green tie, he was quite the handsomest of men. I started to yen, so I counted to 10, then I counted to 10 again. Clang, clang, clang went the trolley. Ding, ding, ding went the bell. Zing, zing, zing went my heartstrings. For the moment I saw him, I fell. Chug, chug, chug went the motor. Bump, bump, bump went the brake. Thump, thump, thump went my heartstrings. When he smiled, I could feel the car shake. He tipped his hat and took a seat. He said he hoped he hadn't stepped upon my feet. He asked my name, I held my breath. I couldn't speak because it scared me half to death. Buzz, buzz, buzz went the buzzer. Flop, flop, flop went the wheel. Stop, stop, stop went my heartstrings. As he started to leave, I took hold of his sleeve with my hand. And as if it were planned, he stayed on with me. And it was grand just to stand with his hand holding mine to the end of the line.
Thank you, Connie. I can't think of anything quite as pleasant as your voice, except perhaps the smoke of camels on my T-zone.
The T-zone. T for taste, T for throat.
The zone where smokers test the smoke of any cigarette.
Right. It's with his own T-zone that each smoker must judge a cigarette. How the first cigarette of the morning tastes on your tongue. How even the last cigarette of the day feels to your throat. Only your T-zone can tell. That's how millions of smokers, forced to try many different brands when cigarettes were scarce, learned how good a Camel is. And that's why more smokers prefer Camels today than ever before. C-A-M-E-L-S. For Camels are the choice of experience.
Costello, what did we have to come downtown for?
Oh, I gotta get some more spaghetti, Abbott, so I can finish trimming my Christmas tree. I couldn't find any tinsel this year, so I'm trimming a tree with spaghetti. And boy, does it look beautiful.
Oh, what's beautiful about trimming a tree with spaghetti?
Every time I plug it in, the meatballs light up.
There you go with that silliness again.
Hey, Abbott, look who's in the car. It's that movie actress, Bessie May Mucho. Hello, Miss Mucho.
Hello, boys.
Gee, I'm glad I saw you. I want to invite you to my Christmas party tonight, Miss Mucho.
Oh, I'm very sorry, but I have to go down to Los Angeles. I'm having a dinner party at the Ambassador Hotel.
The Ambassador Hotel.
Oh, sure, Abbott. You know where the Ambassador is. That's the home of the Cuckoo Nut Groove.
Oh, it's going to be a thrilling dinner.
Yeah.
We're going to have crab louis and steamed clams.
Clams?
Yes. Don't you just adore clams?
No, I'd rather have a plate of fried oysters.
Well, I must be dawdling along.
I beg your pardon?
I must be dawdling along. Oh,
Well,
we will say.
Gesundheit. I sure knock off those Spanish words, don't I?
Well, that's one turn down for your party.
I don't care, Rabbit. I don't care if she don't want to come.
Well.
Here comes my girlfriend, Lena Genster. She'll come to my party tonight. She's madly in love with me.
Ah, there you are, you sawed-off Boris Karloff. Standing on street corners, flirting with girls.
I wasn't flirting with any girls, Lena. I'm saving myself for you.
Thanks, Fatso, for saving so much. I've got a bone to pick with you. I put some of that perfume you gave me on my hair.
Wait a minute. I think it has a nice golden tint.
What is it, Chanel number 5?
No, Chemtone number 7. Roller and all.
You little worm.
Please, Lena, let's be friends. I'd never desert you. I'd stand by you. I'm as solid as the rock of Gibraltar.
I can believe that. You're sticking out in the Mediterranean.
Look, Lena, don't talk like that. I was just going to ask you to come to my Christmas party tonight.
Are you kidding? I'm going out with Van Johnson tonight.
Oh, Van Johnson. You always talk about Van Johnson. Take away his blonde curly hair, and what do you got left?
I don't know, but you can deliver it to my house in the morning. Goodbye.
Well, there's number 2 that ain't going to come to my party tonight.
Hey, Costello, look. Isn't that Mrs. Niles getting off the streetcar?
Oh, hello, Mr. Abbott. Do you always stand on street corners leaning on a trash can? Oh, that's Costello. I didn't recognize him. He looks like the third day of the lost weekend.
You know, I wish you hadn't said that, Mrs. Niles. I was going to thank you for that beautiful Christmas card I got this morning.
Oh, it really was nothing. It was merely a picture of me smiling.
I know it, but how did you get your teeth to spell out Merry Christmas?
Please. Now, stop that, or Mrs. Niles won't come to your party.
I wouldn't come to his party anyway. I always run around with younger people. It helps me to keep young. Oh, in fact, I dread to think of life at 70.
Why? What happened then?
Goodbye.
Well, it looks like you're not going to have any party. That's the third turn down you've had.
I don't care, Rabbit. Let's go home. I'm going to call up some of my other friends. I'll get somebody to come. Here, come on, let's grab this cab. Cabby, drive us to North Hollywood.
North Hollywood? What's the matter with Glendale?
There's nothing wrong with Glendale. I don't live there.
Oh, Glendale ain't good enough for you, huh? Go on, Costello. Say it. Glendale is a one-horse town.
Glendale ain't a one-horse town.
Oh, then why did I lose my job with the city street department? Go on. Go on, don't stand there. Say it. Tell people I'm not a citizen of Glendale. Go on, say I never even voted.
You voted. You voted. You voted.
3 times, huh? Go on, start a rumor. Tell everybody I got paid when I voted.
Melonhead, you didn't get a cent for voting.
Oh, the $6 they gave me was for a dog license. Oh, now I'm a dog, huh? Tell everybody I'm a dog. Throw me a piece of liver.
I wouldn't throw you my liver.
What's the matter with your liver?
All right, you tell me what's wrong with my liver.
Get a load of this punk. Now, he wants me to go to school for 4 years, study day and night to be a doctor, just so I can tell him what's wrong with his liver.
Melonhead, I don't want you to go to school.
Oh, you want me to be a moron like you?
Please, fellows, this is the Christmas season. Remember, peace on earth.
Yeah, Melonhead, why do you have to pick on me like this?
Yes, Melonhead. Have you ever heard of the expression, turn the other cheek?
Boys, you're right. I feel sorry for everything I said here tonight, and I'd like to turn the other cheek so I can feel the humility. Costello, will you please slap me?
You mean that?
Yes.
You mean... Oh, I slapped you before I should, didn't I? Okay.
Now, slap the other cheek. Here.
Are you kidding?
Oh.
Yeah.
Thanks, Costello. You know, nobody would ever believe that Melonhead would turn the other cheek. Costello?
Yeah.
Will you please write down on this paper here that I did?
Oh, sure. I, Lou Costello, slapped Melonhead on both cheeks. There you are. I suppose you're going to show this to all your friends.
No. I'm going to show it to my lawyer. I'll sue you for assault. I'll sue you for battery. Get me a lawyer. Get me a judge and a jury. I'll fix you.
Get me out of here!
Back 25 centuries for the wisdom of Ethan.
Experience is the best teacher.
Yes, experience is the best teacher. When cigarettes were scarce, most smokers took what they could get. One day one brand, another day some other brand. What did that experience teach? Well,
actions speak louder than words.
Yes, actions speak louder than words. The actions of smokers today speak louder than any words about any cigarette. For after more experience with different brands than ever before, more smokers are asking for Camels than ever before.
C-A-M-E-L-S.
Camels are the choice, for experience is the best teacher.
Jingle bell, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a Well, Costello, it's 12 midnight. Not a soul has shown up for your party.
I can't understand it.
I don't know.
Nobody showed up for my party at all. I thought my girlfriend Lena would surely show up.
Yes. It's a shame that you aren't going to get to kiss her under the mistletoe.
The what?
The mistletoe. Didn't you ever kiss a girl under the mistletoe?
No, I always kiss him under the nose.
Well, it looks like nobody's going to kiss you tonight.
Yes, Abbott. All my friends have deserted me. I'm just a failure.
Ah, no, you're not, Costello. You're a big success.
No, Abbott, I'm just a complete flop.
No, you're not, Costello. You're a great guy. Now,
no, Abbott, I'm just a sort-off, little, ugly-looking dope. Well, don't stand there. Argue with me.
Oh, stop this, Costello, please.
I'm going to bed, Abbott. Good night.
Wait a minute. Aren't you going to hang up your stockings?
No. Santa Claus won't even come here.
No, that's wrong, Costello. Santa Claus loves everybody.
He doesn't love me, Abbott. He don't. Santa Claus has never come to my house on Christmas since I was 7 years old. I was a smart aleck little kid in those days, just like some boys and girls are today. I went around saying I didn't believe in Santa Claus. If a kid come up and said he believed in Santa Claus, I used to say, you're nothing but a sissy. There ain't no Santa Claus. That's your father. But now I realize how wrong I was. I want to tell all the little boys and girls what happened to me. Let's all be children again. Let me take you back to Christmas Eve some 20 years ago. I've been out all day playing with my friends Chowderhead Abbott and Skinny Niles. It was a beautiful Christmas Eve. Snow was falling, and you could see the lights on the Christmas trees and all the houses. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the one we used to know.
Louis Costello! Coming, Mother! Louis Costello, stop poking that cat.
I'm not poking it, Ma. I'm trying to get the money out.
Well, there's no money in that cat.
Oh, yes, there is. Last night when Pa was playing poker, I heard him say, everybody put money in a kitty.
That's probably your father now.
No, that was kind of a sneaky knock. It's probably the Iceman.
Oh, never mind the door. I'll see who it is. You go wash your dirty face.
Oh, Ma, why can't I just go up and cover the dirt with powder like you do?
Merry Christmas, why, it's the little Abbott boy and the Niles boy.
We came over to tell you what Louis did. He came over to my house and asked my mother to bend her head down so he could see her horns.
You snitcher.
Why, Louis Costello, you naughty boy. Whatever made you think that Mrs. Abbott had horns?
I heard you say that when she got dressed up, she looked like the devil.
Yeah, Nanny don't. She did either, Miss Costello. Louis said my mother keeps the cat in the icebox.
Why, Mrs. Niles does not keep a cat in her icebox.
Then why does everybody say she's got a frozen puss?
You children stop this arguing, and Louis, you get ready for bed right away. Santa Claus will be coming along any minute now. Good night.
Gee, I can hardly wait till Santa Claus gets here. Listen, Kenny. I hear sleigh bells. Yeah, and I can hear him walking around on the roof. He's getting ready to come down the chimney.
Who built that fire in the fire?
I did.
Do you realize that you gave me a hot foot?
That isn't the way I planned it.
Well, I'm sorry I'm late, boys, but I had to stop off at Betty Grable's house.
Why did you have to stop off there, Santa?
After spending a year up there in the cold north, he's got to throw out someplace.
Quiet, Louis. Gee, Santa Claus, I hope you brung us kids some nice presents. Huh?
Oh, yes, I did. I brought some nice presents for you, Buddy Abbott, and you, Kenny Niles. But as for you, Louis Costello, you've been a bad boy. You hear? A bad boy.
Santa Claus, did you have lamb chops for dinner?
I'll take care of you later, Louis. Here, Kenny and Buddy, here are your presents. Now run along home like good little boys.
Gee, thanks, Santa.
That's all right. Good night. Good night, boys. Good night. Now, Louis Costello, I want to show you all the black marks I've got down here against you in my book.
Now, here's a report from your Sunday school teacher. She tells me you put fly paper in all the pews last Sunday. That you put a cat in the pipe organ. That you put Limburger cheese behind all the radiators. And then you put a cap from a Coca-Cola bottle in the collection box and took out 15-cent change. Now, what do you say to that?
I'm a busy little bee, ain't I?
Silence. You haven't heard the worst. I see that a few years ago you flirted with a little girl in school. Is that true?
I'm afraid it is.
And is it true that you gave her your class pin?
What class pin? I was only 2 years old. I gave it the only pin I had.
All right. Let the whole thing drop.
That's what happened.
And finally, Louis, the biggest black mark against you is that you've got a book under your mattress.
Yes. Santa Claus, it's only a book about how to make tea the right color.
How to make tea the right color? What's the name of it?
Forever Amber.
Well, I guess that settles it, Louis. I'm afraid there's nothing I can leave you for Christmas.
Nothing? You mean just plain zero?
That's right, Louis. Maybe someday, when you've learned to behave yourself, I may come back again. Well, good night.
Gee, I guess I'm just the kind of a boy my mother don't want me to associate with. Nobody likes me. Even Santa Claus can't stand me. Buddy Abbott and Kenny Niles both got presents, but I didn't get nothing. I'm going to write a letter to my mom and my pop, and then I'm going to run away from here. Dear Mom and Pop, when you read this, I will be thousands of miles away. Don't ever look for me because you're not going to find me. I'm never coming back. Maybe someday when I'm old, about 11 or 12, after I make $1 million, I'll come home and I'll buy a nice new dress, Mom, and I'll give Pop a new pair of overalls. That's what he calls his happy clothes. Please take the fleas out of my flea circus and put them back on the dogs so they won't get homesick. And don't forget to feed my little pet skunk twice a day. There's a clothespin hanging by his cage. I love you, Mom and Pop, but this is the best way out. Your loving son, Louis Costello. Boys and girls, that happened over 20 years ago, and Santa Claus has never come back to see me to this day. Please, kiddies, take a lesson from me and be good boys and girls, so that next Monday night, Christmas Eve, you won't be waiting for Santa Claus that didn't come like I've been waiting for all these years.
Oh, come, Lou. I guess we'd better go to bed.
Hey, look! See Abbott! It's Lena and Connie Haynes and it's Melonhead and Tim Isles. Oh, boy! You all came to my party.
Yes, and I'm here too, Louis.
Santa Claus! You finally came and you even brought your horse with you.
What horse? It's me.
Pardon me, Mrs. Niles. Gee, I didn't dream that anything like this was going to happen. I thought that nobody cared about me anymore. I was dreaming of a slight Christmas. I thought my friends had passed me by.
Why, you know, Costello,
that you're one fellow that we all think
you are loved by both the kids and old folks, though you have whiskers on your jokes. May your life be merry and high,
and may all your Christmases be. Help me, Mrs. Niles. Wow!
Costello will be back with Camel Cigarettes in just a minute. And now this week's salute in the new series of salutes to the men who won the victory.
Tonight we salute the 66th, the Black Panther Division, heroes of L'Orient, Saint-Nazaire, and the Army of Occupation. In your honor, men of the Black Panther Division, the makers of camels are sending to other servicemen still overseas 500,000 Camel cigarettes.
Each of the two Camel radio shows thus honors the different units of the Army, Navy, Marines, and Coast Guard, a total of 1 million Camels sent free each week. Camel broadcasts go out to the United States twice a week, are rebroadcast to practically every area in the world where our men are stationed, and to our good neighbors in Central and South America. And now, here are Bud and Lou with the final word.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, Abbott, wait a minute. I don't see that guy here that always yells, no, not that.
You know, here, Costello. I didn't want to spoil the Christmas spirit on your show tonight.
Oh, that's awfully sweet of you.
I also want to thank you for that lovely present you sent me. That's the best game I ever played.
Game? I didn't send you any game. I sent you an autographed picture of myself.
How do you like that? My wife and I sat up all night trying to pin a tail on it.
Good night, folks. A Merry Christmas to everybody.
Yes, Merry Christmas to everybody. And don't forget to buy another Victory Bond at your local theater. Merry Christmas to everybody in Patterson, New Jersey.
Be sure to tune in next week for another great Abbott and Costello show brought to you by Camel Cigarettes. And remember, try Camels in your T-zone. See if they don't suit your taste, your throat, to a T.
Just 4 more days till Christmas. Are there still any blanks on your gift list? If you know a pipe smoker, here's a grand answer. The colorful Christmas tin of Prince Albert tobacco. It holds a full pound, 400 pipefuls of the world's most popular pipe tobacco. The tobacco that's crimp cut for slow, cool burning. The tobacco that's processed to remove bite and sting before it's packed. And you won't have to shop around for that present. You'll find the Christmas tin of Prince Albert most everywhere tobacco is sold. And be sure on Saturday night to tune in the great Prince Albert radio show, Grand Ole Opry, Coast to Coast on NBC.
The Abbott and Costello show for Camel Cigarettes will be back at the very same time next week. Don't miss it. This is Ken Niles in Hollywood, wishing you all a pleasant good night. This is the National Broadcasting Company.